Okay. We had an interesting last session. Um, you all found yourselves face to face with the bear, the one who done it, the murderer of the this Forrester individual who was this wild, somewhat skittish werebear man. And though slow at first to trust, due to the silver tongue powers of Ember, he came around to inviting you all in, and through a drink and through food and merriment, you guys all managed to bond a little bit, and you imparted upon him that the Storm Lord put within his path one of his clerics because perhaps he intended something for him, our wonderful werebear friend, who, oh, the name?
Ulfric.
Ulfric, that's right. Thank you very much. Ulfric. And he was persuaded. He was persuaded to come with you all. Cities very strange to someone who has lived in the wilds their entire life, and the largest group of people he's ever seen is a fishing village. So it was quite the shell shock. He was almost like angrily excited about the prospect of baking. He took him to the Slayer's cake, and he was like desperate to find out the secrets to this wonderful food making process, to which Ember enlightened him, and the wonders of civilization are growing. As you made your way to the castle, it seemed that all was not well. Percival DeRollo had summoned the Rifleman Corps to aid in his search of his lost youngest daughter, Gwendolyn, who disappeared not only with an invention of Percival's, but into the dungeons below the castle, which have not been seen use in many long years. And Percival noted the very strange of Gwen. She's never done anything remotely like this before in her life. So, you split up into three teams. Lady Vexalia was already en route by herself into the dungeons. Percival took the Rifleman Corps, went into another route, and sent you all off on your own as well. Luckily, you got a worker with you. And through the power of his nose, he was able to sniff out Gwendolyn, very thankfully, wisely thought up by Ember again, Ember MVP. Sniffing around, Ulfric got a little bit more and more unsettled. Clearly a physical and martial threat, but nonetheless, he kept saying he smelt wrong, or he smelt something smelt wrong down here, something like dirt. He smelt the little girl, but he also smells the scent of a woman, and the smell of just like almost like the feeling before like blacking out in anger, like seeing red. It's what he just called just sort of crazy. You could smell crazy in the air. And you followed, and then through the powers of Torma, you were able to track down Gwendolyn, and it seemed that she was in the company of a most disturbing woman. A woman who bears an obsidian hammer of screaming faces, a dilapidated, abused body, sewn together lips, a veil of chains, a truly monstrous sight. But she had the voice of almost like a gentle woman, and allowed you to have Gwendolyn without any fuss or fight. She was actually pointed out Yvain as a fellow follower of Ayu, and asked about the libraries of Vermont and if they were still as glorious as she recalls. As the light was sort of brought to her, she hissed and retreated into the tunnels that emerged in the side walls. And as we ended the session, a couple group members decided to go in pursuit once Gwendolyn was handed off to Beverly and Ulfric to be returned to the surface safely. So, is that still the plan? Do the five of you wish to pursue?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yvain does. I can't speak
Yep.
for anyone else.
Yep, we're going.
Also, do I still
Understood.
have line of sight on her?
No, she like as the light came, she kind of retreated into the darkness, but she's not far ahead, but mere feet ahead. So I'm just gonna put the characters in the marching order based on the persistentness, I will say, of pursuit. So Yvain kind of charged forward. Sound like Kira and Drycerin were in hot pursuit of Yvain herself. Would it be fair to say Ember and Tumata are on the way as well?
Yeah, after I hand off Gwendolyn to Ulfric and Bev.
Understood. So we'll put you at the back then, since you had a little task to do.
Yep.
And she was handed off safely, and you were certainly given the nod by both individuals to do what you got to do. Get something. Here we go. Oh yes, I should put out there. New mini just dropped for Tomorta. As a note, there is going to be a slight retcon for Tomorta. All the fire you've seen him do is now ice that you've seen him do. That's all. Just a little icy retcon. That's all.
Well, I love an icy retcon.
Fantastic. So you will run in hot pursuit. It is she's very easily followed. She's not a very stealthy lady. You get the sense of by the sound of chains sort of ding, 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 bouncing around across the ground and stone, and the sound of the hammer sort of being dragged across the ground. As you enter into tunnels, I've got them high roofed here, but they're not. They're only really about as tall as she is, and look recently made. Like they're like dirt and dust sort of falls from the ceiling as you walk by. There's no structural support. If you had to guess, she may have made them herself if she had the power to burrow, but they seem recently burrowed. Not much is very eminently clear. We have light coming from Tomata, but as you all run, I'll say you catch her at like this kind of just before this little turn here. You get to here, and she kind of stops and kind of wheels around to turn. You'll see her face kind of, despite like arc of her back and the pain of her body, you do see like under the sewn lips, a smile does curl across her face. And you'll hear her voice inside your mind. She is inside you. She says, "So you've come to look."
We're gonna need what you took from Gwendolyn. And Yvain answers in her mind. We're gonna need what you took from Gwendolyn before you can leave.
She says, "Oh, I don't possess what was taken from the little girl. But if you think I am lying, you're more than welcome to try and take it. I am very fond of education."
Yvain will pass plant growth and then actually sit back. All right.
Yes, unfortunately, there's no surprise around here.
Okay. Like just like at some point when the bad guy gets monologuing, that was she can't run off.
We're all looking at each other, right?
Yeah.
If you raise your hand, twiddle your fingers, and speak words, she's going to
absolutely, 100%.
How high is the ceilings in this new area?
Not high. It is, I'll say, a generous 10 feet.
I'm gonna use
like
my
I said,
thing.
It feels like burrowed for an individual. It's not like this doesn't look like a natural. Okay, what do we get? Who rolled a 20 plus? All right. Oh, I gotta do battle. I think there's like, I think I gotta stop here. Yeah, skirmish in the deep. Perfect. Okay, who rolled a 15 plus? Okay, Elaine. Anyone else? Nope. Oh, what'd you get?
18.
18, Yvain?
I want to make sure for my astrologer's thing, I've got a D4 that I can use. Is that it's on any D20 test? Does that include initiative?
It's considered an ability check, so yes.
All right, then dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. So we'll have Yvain and Tamada. Okay, 10 plus. Who have rolled a 10 plus?
12.
Hero got an 11.
So did I.
Rice 11. Who would like to go first, Rice Hero?
You go first.
Okay.
Okay, Rice is going first. Okay, with that, combat begins. You get your wish, Yvain. So, you wanted to cast plant growth.
So yeah, I am going to. Oh shit! Is that what I want? I can make this work, actually. All right, so let's switch that. I am going to Misty Step to the back of the group.
Okay. And so you do.
And then I am going to cast Guiding Bolt.
You can only cast one spell a turn, unfortunately.
Oh shit, that's right. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I actually can still cast a cantrip, I recall.
Yes.
Cool. So I will cast Starry Wisp.
All right. Is that a saving throw?
No.
So we're going to say you cast that before you Misty Stepped because it is particularly hard to cast a spell down a 5-foot hallway past 5 people. So
you know,
we'll say
that's
you
fair.
did it before.
Thank you for watching out for me, Mr. DM.
No problem.
Much appreciated. So that is a 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
$15 radiant damage.
All right. 15 radiant damage. She takes it. And you don't see the reaction yourself, Yvain, but Drycerin, you do. As she takes it, the wisps kind of sort of like radiantly burn her flesh. And she kind of like... and you do hear in your voice, Yvain, or in your head, you hear, I can take more. I can take more. And as a reaction, well, as a legendary action, technically speaking, as this is a unique legendary action, she's going to say, this is how we do it better next time. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay. So that is a nat 20 for a 29.
You're able to box off the pain and the vision itself after a certain point, but you do catch a flash of it, and you are going to take 6 points of psychic damage as you see like just a flash of a vision of you hurting her. But while she is there and you're firing at her, she's also beside you. You see her long, spindly fingers like around your hand, kind of pointing your hand a little bit more close to center mass, and saying, "It's most." But you cast away the vision before it can truly harm you. Okay. Tornado Bolt. What would you like to do? You are muted, my friend.
Yeah, click and click. I do have a Investor of the Winds going, so I'll lift up off the ground.
All right.
To try to free up everybody around me, the best I can. We'll keep it simple. We'll try a. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, sometimes when there's traffic jams, get in the way. If you wanted to, you could always hold your turn for someone lower in the initiative. You can't add to your initiative, but I allow a lowering if that was a tool you wanted to use, just as I thought I'd put it out there.
I think I'll move, so I'll go up and then backwards so everybody behind me can actually do what they're going to do.
Got it.
The range between her and us? Or her and I, actually?
You guys ran pretty close. So you're about 40 feet.
Okay.
I did click. Yeah, 40 feet from her.
We'll try a mind sliver. She owes me a intelligence saving throw DC 16, please.
Intelligence saving throw. She does fail the intelligence.
She'll take 5 psychic and a -1 to her next saving throw.
Understood.
That'll be me.
You hit her, and you see just sort of like a little bit of like a wince in the side of the eye, but it's just like the barest wince. And you hear in your mind, Tamara, you hear, we're going to have to learn to do better. And that'll bring us to Ember Van's eye. Oh, you wanted to hang on really quick. Sorry, Tamara, you wanted to move to the back of the line as well.
Yeah.
Okay. You're kind of flattening yourself against the roof, kind of slide back over top of everybody. You get to the back of the line and then you shoot. All right, Ember Van Zyl,
I'm gonna drop my initiative to a 10, so I'm behind Drycern and Kiro.
Understood. Okay, that will bring us to our 2 most physical members. Drycern, you are at the front of the line, and this lady, we can call her that. She is right there. What do you do?
I hit her with the 2nd level guiding bolt.
Okay, 2nd level guiding bolt. Fair enough. Go ahead and roll attack roll.
18?
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
24?
That will also hit. Go ahead and roll
the total
damage.
was a 24. It was an 18 on the die.
Understood. Yep, go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, that's a lot of ones. 11.
All right, 11 damage. She takes the 11 damage, and she begins to glow dimly with silvery light. The next attack roll against her will have advantage. She takes that burn as well, and you'll hear Drycer, and you hear, I'm not too disappointed. We will learn together. Bonus action. Movement.
So she's disappeared into the thing. We can't reach her?
Oh, you can. She's right there.
We can?
She's if you can see the tail spire. Yeah, you can run right up to her if you want.
Great. Cool. Then we will start using focus points. We're gonna get right up there. We're gonna activate elemental attunement. So we're doing, what do we think? Fire damage?
All right.
Why not?
Punch your fists
and then
together
another for
and
Fury of Blows.
Hell yeah. Sparks sort of shoot off your fists. Elemental attunement's just for free.
It's a focus point, but it
just
changes by damage.
Cool. And last question, can you perform a flurry of blows if you haven't taken the attack action?
I think it says, here's where I just read it.
It's all good.
Right here.
Take a look too. Yeah, I believe the new edition doesn't specify. So yeah, you're good. Go for it.
Yeah, it's just spending the focus points to do it. It's 2 martial attacks.
Understood. Just
or
as
unarmed
curiosity.
strikes.
Understood. Just as a curiosity, what was the damage of your first blow again?
My first one?
The guiding bolt, yeah.
The guiding bolt, which is radiant damage.
How much damage was it?
11.
11.
11. Got it. Thank you very much. Okay, by all means, punch away.
Not being good at math is a problem. 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Roll some damage.
And may I turn that into a stunning strike?
You most certainly can.
Thank you. 14 Constitution.
She rolls a 35 to save. Yeah,
All right.
You punch her, and to your astonishment, as you flow your focus points into where you know that nerve bundle should be, her body, it's just not there. The nerve bundle isn't there, and you have this moment of like she doesn't just look like she's pulled apart and put back together. Like,
Okay.
her body doesn't work the same as other people's, it seems, in this moment.
That was 7 fire damage.
7 fire damage. Cinches the side of her. You're hearing her mind. You're so close. Keep going.
I don't like her. 7, 14 to hit.
14 is shy. I'm sorry to say, 14 will not hit. But she will allow you to take the blow. She will purposefully lower her AC to take the blow instead.
I don't like that. I'll do it, but I don't like that. 8 more fire damage.
8 more fire damage. You're like about to miss, but you see she like leans. She actually like sees that you're going to miss, and she leans into it. And she takes the blow, and she kind of in her psychic like cries out. You hear her sort of sewn lips muffle, kind of. But in her mind, she says, "That's okay, we're working together. You're doing wonderful." And she's going to receive a torment point. We'll get to that later. Okay, is there anything else for you, Drax?
No.
Okay. Kiro, what would you like to do? And by the way, when she's talking to each of you on your turns, those are very personal. Those are only for you. Yeah, so nobody heard what she said to us. Kiro, what would you like?
Oh gosh, I had such a clear strategy up until like 2 seconds ago. Where am I? So Kiro's behind Dreisrin, right?
Correct.
Okay. And how far away? Actually, it doesn't matter how far away, it's gonna hit anyway. I'm going to Eldritch Blast twice. Well, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast, but it's 2 different beams.
Understood. She is going to get some cover. Since your party member is directly between you and the target, I am going to have to give her 3/4. So she's just going to get a bonus to her AC. Because you're trying to like shoot around Reister into a person on the other side. It's a tough shot.
Then you know what? I am going to, if it goes terribly wrong, hopefully I can bail myself out. I am going to, instead of Eldritch Blasting her, I'm going to, since I'm second in line, I'm going to Misty Step. I can go up to 30 feet. Does 30 feet get me on the other side of her?
You'll have to use some movement, but yes.
Then I'll do that.
Okay.
And then I'll just use whatever movement it takes. Okay.
It only requires an additional 10 feet of movement. So you run forward 10 feet and then kind of disappear into like a brine mist and reappear on the other side.
Cool. And then I'm going to turn around. Bonus action. Is it a bonus action? Yes, it is. So I'm going to Sacred Flame her then, which has a range of 60 feet. It's a dex save of 15.
Okay, well you're in melee now, so you got no problem there. If you wanted to, you guys can see the tail spire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Wisdom save.
Oh wait, hold up. Sorry, I'm in melee with her.
Well, you wanted to misty step to the opposite side to be in melee, yes?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to. However far 30 feet gets me on the other side of her, that was however far I was going.
Got it. You just wanted to get as far as possible. My apologies.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. Okay. Yeah, you are 20 feet from melee of her, so you can easily hit. You're good. Wisdom save.
Dex save of 15.
Dex save. She does not dodge. She does not get out of the way. For all of her strengths, she doesn't look to be like the most dexterous person in the world, considering her body doesn't work very well anyway.
It is 8.
She's got hella lower back pain.
8 points of radiant damage.
Sort of singes across her back. You hear in your head, I know we can do better. I'll come teach you in a minute. Is there anything else?
No.
She will, because it's Ember's turn. So, Ember, you're up, my friend. What would you like to do?
I'm going to advance so I'm up behind Drycerin.
And with 30 feet, you certainly can.
And how far back is Kiro from there?
Good question. Hero is 35.
Fantastic. That is perfect. I'm gonna spend a sorcery point for a careful cast, so it doesn't affect Drycerin. And I'm going to cast. Oh wait, I can't do it that way because I can't stack them. Well, that shoots that in the head. Let me check something else quick like a bunny. I had a plan until it was needing to spend 2 sorcery points.
No worries.
So while we're waiting for Eric, I'm really deaf, and the music is really loud to me. Could you turn it down just a smidgen, please? So I can actually hear you better. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let me know anytime if no problems at all. Absolutely no problems at all. Just let me know anytime if anything's ever too loud or like. All right, go ahead there, Ember.
Okay. Plan B. It looks like there's, from where she's standing, kind of behind her towards Hero's side, it's a little wider, maybe.
Yeah, with your dark vision, you could see that it begins to sort of open up behind Kiro for sure.
Okay,
there might be a chamber over there.
I'm thinking of that space kind of behind Creepy Lady, in front of Kiro, where it kind of side branches there. There's a little wider spot. I'm gonna put my hand on Drycerin's shoulder.
Okay.
Come with me. And I'm going to cast Thunder Step.
Oh, very cool.
But I'm changing I'm going to spend a sorcery point and change the thunder damage to fire. And we are going to just dissolve in a batch of flame and appear 10 feet behind her in that space where it gets a little bit wider.
Got it. So, like, this is your position you're liking?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So what am I needed to do for the fire stat?
It's a dex save. I think it's a dex save. No, it's a con save. DC 18.
Con save DC. Understood. That is going to be on the con save a 23 to save.
Okay. Well, you still can take half.
Absolutely.
Which would be 19 points.
19 points. Excellent.
And if your dead self has any resistance to fire, please ignore that.
Understood. She has no resistance to fire. In the sort of you grab Drycer and you say, "Come with me." And there's this, as you both sort of disappear into this like globe of what was just for a moment the trembling of the air, which then superheats, and both of you just sort of disappear into like an implosion of flame. Those of you at the back would see like the fire lit in the eyes of the witness, and she kind of smiles at it. And fire ellipses across her body as the two of you appear behind her. And she turns around and she goes, in your head, Ember, she says, "There is no enemy in the flame. What I could do with you." Is there anything else you'd like to
do? That's action move. I don't really have anything bonus action space wise, so now we're good.
Understood. That will bring us. Well, she is going to use a legendary action to do Pain Echo again. And she is going to. The follower of Ayun is just too far away, so someone else will need an education instead. She'll hit you, Drycerin, because you're trying to do fire as well. Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Better at these. That's good. Oh, that's really good. 16 plus 6. Why is my brain
22?
22.
Yeah.
That is success. Just for a moment, there's a flash where you are in her perspective and you feel fire like melting her flesh. And she says, in your mind, "Is he close?" But you push away the image before you can truly experience what she felt. You're going to take 6 points of psychic damage instead of a full. That's that, which is going to bring us to the witness's turn. She is very focused on my frontliners here. Oh boy. She is going to say, "You three, Drycerin, Kira, and Ember, all hear her inside of your brain." And she says, "You're very good teachers, but it's time to be the student." And from the ground, you may not have noticed in the moment, but you notice now that the chain, like her head basically goes as the chains that are hooked into her scalp pull back as her skin stretches and she bleeds. Chains tunnel into the earth and shoot up from underneath the three of you. I need each of you to make any dexterity saving throws as she uses living chains against you. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Drycerin got an 11.
I'm very sorry. These are strengths. It's not. I think did I say that right? I said strength saves?
No, you said
I think I said. I apologize.
Thank goodness, I'm so much better at those.
So just swap the bonuses if you've already rolled. So Dyson, you got less than 11?
I got an 8.
Okay, an 8. Understood. Ember, how'd you do?
18.
I got an 18 too!
Ember and Kiro, these chains like shoot up out of the ground, bind around your legs, but you just have this moment of like, uh-oh, and you just like pull your feet back and like rip from the chains. But as they do so, Drystrand, they shoot around your body and like, just for flavor, will sort of like drag you into the wall and like bind you to the wall in that moment as you are restrained. As you're restrained to the wall, she notices you two save, and you all three hear. She says, "It seems the first student is chosen for herself. Very well." And she's going to drag the hammer forward over to you, Drystrand, and she says, "Let's begin." And she's going to take the hammer and she's going to swing it into you twice as far as she can. Advantage because you are bound. First one is going to be 28 to hit. Okay. Here
Really?
we go. Oh yeah, she's mean. She's mean lady. She's kind in her own way. 11.
This
7,
I have to remind myself, this is what I'm for.
I'm assuming they're not within 5 feet of me. Neither one of them is. Okay.
No. 7. That is going to be 18 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
You are going to take, because you are restrained, you are going to take an additional 5 psychic damage. And she is going to actually take 1 point of psychic damage herself. She smashes into you, you resist. She goes, in your head, she says, "Let's try that again. I can make it worse." And she's going to swing with all her might. Because you are restrained, she's going to use confining strikes, which means that her critical threat range triples, which means that she crits on you. The unfortunate part is that as part of this, you don't get to choose between exhaustion or lingering injury. She gets to choose, and she picked lingering injury. She wants to teach you about suffering. Would you like to roll a d20? See how that goes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do the damage in a minute, but let's get the lingering injury up. I'll let you pick. Do you want it to be psychic or bludgeoning damage?
Can't stop either one, so psychic.
We'll do. All right, it's going to be a psychic-based lingering injury then. Okay. So what did you roll?
A 7 on the die.
7 on the die. Oh, this is interesting. I need you to roll a d100.
Okay. Where's my other... Okay, thank you. I forget, are double zeros the bad thing?
No, I believe that's
that
just
and
like...
then a 6.
So you just rolled a 6 then. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A 6. All right, interesting. We're going to get to this in just a moment. Let me deal you some damage first. Okay. Glasses in session. Where are you, my little D10s? There you are. Extra one. There we go. So that would be 10, 12, 14, it's going to be 20, it's going to be 50. You're going to take 50 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm
Because
down.
she crit. Okay, we're gonna. How much damage brought you to 0? Like, what did you have left?
I have 30. Well, had 34.
Well, it doesn't matter. She's doing this non-lethally. She's here to educate. She's not here for anything else. So she is going to like smash you somewhere. I'm gonna say your bones are very strong because you're a monk, training them every day. So maybe she like smashes you in the hand, and the pain is so much more immense than the damage itself. And the psychic damage is just pain. It's pain damage. It's pure damage. It's pure pain. And while it breaks your body to the point where you lose consciousness, the pain is so intense that your mind just can't handle it, and it cracks a little bit. You are now suffering from. You've gone insane. Essentially, you have a long-term madness. I'm going to post to you what that long-term madness is through the Zoom chat. You will have some personal creative decision about how you want to play this. So here it is, Dryster. Get it?
Yeah.
Cool. So as you lose consciousness, this pain shoots through you, and the last thing you hear before you lose consciousness is, well done. And you just lose consciousness from the pain. And she turns and looks at you, Ember, and she says, "She did so well. It's your turn." And she's going to approach you and end her turn. That is going to bring us to the top of initiative. Yvain, all of you heard the splitting sound of this massive warhammer crumbling into your friend. What would you like to do, Yvain?
That did change what I want to do a bit. That's all right. That is all right. Okay, so let me just, I'm just checking a few things, making sure I haven't done this in a hella long time. Yeah, so that is that, and then, all right, so it's been a while since I've done this before, so just want to check. Shit, actually, nope, I already know I can't. So, probably the easiest. Shit. Bonus action, healing word out to Drycerin.
Okay, what's the range on that? Because you're a little far back.
60 feet.
Yep, perfect. Just at the end of the range.
Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and cast that, and so then that doesn't add for my sickle. I'm sorry, it's been a while since we've done this. It'll be, I believe it's going to be 11 plus a d4. Where's my inventory? Where's my sickle? Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. And then, all right, so it was 11 plus 2. So take 13 points of healing, please.
13 healing to Drycerin.
And that leaves me with a starry wisp, I believe I can toss at her.
Sure, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and do that then. Holy shit, that is my second nat 20 for 31.
31? Nat 20 does it. Go ahead and roll damage, absolutely.
The total damage it could do is 16. So
yeah, total possible damage is 16 plus the roll 8.
Plus 14.
So 16 plus 14. Oh, very good rolls. Well done. That'll be 30 damage, it sounds like.
Radiant damage.
30 radiant damage as you do so. Shoot it down the line. It just blisters harshly across the back of her skin. There's this sound that you hear, Ember, that kind of echoes down the tunnel. You'll hear in your head, Yvain, you'll hear, well done, you're learning so quickly. Excellent. Is there anything else you think?
Can I duck out and take cover? Like, is there a quick in and out?
Yeah, it seems that this little main entry here looks like it's kind of been opened up.
Fantastic.
So yeah, you can pop around the corner.
Yeah, I want to be able to sort of keep an eye on it, but yeah, that's what I do.
Understood. Okay, well done, Yvain. Marabota, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna trigger my innate sorcery, which means I have attack advantage on attack rolls for any sort of cast. My DC increases by 1. It's a bonus action. As my action, I'm going to cast Sorcerer's Burst. Because I have Spell Sniper, she gains no benefits from cover from me.
All right. I assume that's a pretty decent range.
120.
Yeah, you're good. You're totally good.
19 to hit.
19 does hit. Roll damage.
Come on, click. I guess I did this way. $10 cold.
10 cold damage. He takes the 10 cold. Absolutely. Excellent. You hear within your mind, getting better. Getting most certainly better.
All right, that's me. Nope, that's me.
All right. Yvain, as you're standing beside him, I'm sure you'd see like almost like a liquid nitrogen-esque like frost, maybe like almost drip from Promada's mouth, and maybe like the tips of his fingers is like the latent power of elemental frost that resides within many dragons just comes literally like to the surface. And maybe, and tell me if it's not a flavor you like, Promada, at any point, but maybe like under the skin, you just see maybe like a little bit of scale kind of just not break the surface of the skin, but just that texture kind of elevates to the surface as the dragon sort of awakens.
Oh, very nice.
Cool. Okay, that is going to bring us to Drystrand. Drystrand, you awaken. What, considering your lingering injury, are you doing anything there, Drystrand? Is there anything unusual about Drystrand as she awakens?
Yeah, the holy symbol she usually keeps on her belt is now going to be in her hand and against her heart, and she's just going to keep muttering a prayer in Draconic to the Storm Lord.
All right.
Once she's kind of done, but not really, basically just a pause in that, she's going to try and cast Command.
Okay, a command. That's a wisdom save for her, yeah?
Yep, 14.
14. That is going to be a 20 to save. She seems quite wise. I also need you to do something that I almost forgot. So as you awaken, and this kind of like obsessive prayer begins with you, you feel in her presence pure agony. I need you to make me a con save, which would have happened at the start of your turn. So I need you to make me a con save.
This is crazy. 19!
19 is a save. You push past the agony and are able to focus it on your power. You say something to command her, and she kind of turns and groans in your direction. And you hear in your mind, no, I need a teacher, not him. Anything else? You are still restrained, by the way.
How do we get out of that again?
You may make a saving throw at the end of your turn, or until a minute passes. Yep, they are a live, living chain. So as you resist, they like rewrap to compensate. But as your turn comes to an end, if that is the end of your turn, go ahead and make another strength saving.
That's another 8.
An 8. The chains hold you tight and kind of pull you together, and you keep under your breath quietly praying, please. Ember and Kiro, you see Drycerin like manically praying. Like, this isn't just like having a clerical moment. This is like, she's like, so it's like, or maybe even rocking a little bit. All right, Drycerin, well done. That will bring us to Kiro. Kiro, what do you do?
How far away from her am I?
You are not far. You're 5, 10, 15 feet. We'll get you in melee if you wanted it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 15 feet gets you in melee. Oh.
I am going to do this. I'm going to do this before I take off. Because do I have line of sight on her from where I'm standing? Without
you do.
Cover. Okay.
Ember is most certainly between you and your enemy, so there is cover.
Then I'm going to move forward just a little bit so I have line of sight without having any cover, and then after I cast my spell, I'm going to move forward.
Okay, you will have to enter melee in order to get rid of the cover, just because of where you are aligned over here.
Okay. That's fine.
You can enter a flank if you wanted to with Ember and get advantage if you wanted.
I'll do that then.
All right, so 15 feet, another 10 feet thereafter, so you got 5 feet to spare. You surround the witness on all sides and will gain advantage on your next turn, or on your next attack. I do need you to make a con save, however, as you are within her aura of help.
Is a 21.
21 will save. You push past the agony, the pain, and push forward. You are feeling active pain, but you're not letting it get up here.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I am going to attack with my action. I get 2 attacks. I'm gonna swing my trident. Can I swing it two-handed? Because there's like a 1d8 damage, and then there's a 1d10.
You most certainly can, as long as your 2 hands are free.
They are. Then both of those will be two-handed then. One of them, the lower one, is a 17. And the higher one is a 21.
Okay, 21 hits. Go ahead and roll damage, absolutely.
That is 12 points of piercing damage, and she has to make a con save because of the mastery feat that I have with my trident twice. It's 16.
Got it. As a note, I admittedly forgot to do it with Drycerin, but you'll note as well, Kiro. As you slash her, you're doing damage, but much like a barbarian's rage, how when they become so angry they can't feel pain, her pain tolerance seems to be immense, and because of that, she is resistant to slashing damage. And it would have been to you as well, Drycerin, for blood, but that's coming on, so no worries there. But anyway, yes. Excellent. Damage accounted for.
You know what? We're here. We might as well. I'll use my action surge while we're here for funsies. And then take just 2 more swings. Two-handed.
Well, you only took that was only 1 swing. Oh, right. Sorry. I'm with you. Go ahead and roll your, go for it. Your action surge.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my fault. You're good.
No, you're fine. I was like, wait, what did I roll wrong?
Yeah, you said you're lower and you're higher. I thought you were talking about the advantage, but no.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, no. I rolled one of them at advantage. It was just I rolled 2 d20s at once because I knew that it was 2 attacks.
Yeah. No, you're totally good. You're totally good. My mistake.
One of them missed because it was a nat 1. Wait, yep, that's a 1.
You have advantage.
7. Oh.
That's why you're flanking, right?
That one again. Yeah. Nope, never. It was 2 nat 1s. That's
rude. 2 nat 1s?
It was rude. It's okay because the other one's a 19, so I'm pretty sure that hits, but only one of them hits. Then one of them misses, one of them hits. And I'm not using that. I'm not touching that dice again.
All right,
you might as well crit fish on the 19 to see if you hit a 20.
That's true.
I might as well.
Got a crit fish.
No, but that does bring it up to 16. 6 and 8 is 14, 24.
24 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 7 plus 8. 8 plus 7 is 14?
So 14. 15, which becomes a 7 again because she is resistant. Well done. You're slashing into her, not maybe getting as much as you want. You're fucking spearing into her, missing here and there. And you hear in your mind, here, I see some education is very helpful. Roll a wisdom saving throw as she echoes her own pain within your mind.
Not using that dice. 14.
14 is a failure. In this moment, on that last strike, you feel you enter into this intense vision. You're going to take 11, 13. You're going to take 16 points of damage, and you are blinded until the end of your next turn. As your eyes gloss over, and you are just like in her body. And for the next 6 seconds are going to experience just in slow-mo, like every move, like the slow movement of the 3 prongs of your trident moving into her body. You're going to feel over the next 6 seconds just pain, and then exit. And you're just going to just feel every inch of that trident enter and exit her body. Okay, well done, Kiro. That is going to bring us to Ember Van's. What would you like to do, Ember?
Ember will say, Avandra, grant Kiro grace. And he's going to reach out, grab on to Dreisren, and he's going to thunderstep again. Go nice. 30 feet up the hallway. Going to spend the sorcery point to careful spell it so Dreisren isn't affected.
Understood.
And we're going to leave and take Dreisren closer to Yvain.
Got it. How far you go? How?
Thunderstep. It's got me 90 feet. So if I can go all the way back, and I'll. The goal is to drop her near Yvain. So if I know Yvain is back near Tomata,
yep.
That's where I'll go.
God, does that work for you right there?
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. All right. Con save.
Yep. DC 18.
DC 18. She did not roll. Well, she only rolled a 14. That'll be full damage.
Yeah, but full damage was only a 10.
Oh, only a 10. Fire goes off. Kira, you have
this will be thunder because
thunder,
I didn't mod it.
No problem. thunder sort of rocks and cracks the ground. Kira, you have this moment of like, oh, there we go. But then the thunder just kind of hurts around you. Like the Changebringer's own hand ensured that your path would be safe. And she takes the 10 thunder damage. You hear in your mind, Ember, she says, no, fire is good. Fire hurts the most. That'll bring us... Oh, but she will... You're a little far away. So she's just going to do it to Kiro. She's going to do another Pain Echo. Make me another Wisdom saving throw, Kiro.
I tried.
This one's a 16.
A 16 is just enough to save. You're too distracted by the vision of the trident entering and exiting your body, and you do feel like the singe of thunder. 4, 8, 13, 12. You're going to take 6 points of psychic damage instead of the full damage. But you do feel like the rock of thunder through her body. You hear the whisper in her mind. She says, no, don't let the Changebringer take away from your lessons. And she gives you pain as recompense for you being saved from it. Which will bring us to her turn, the witness's turn. She'll turn around to you, Kiro, as you are blinded here. I gotta roll to recharge her chains. Nope. What's she gonna do? She is going to focus on her torment, and she's going to spend all of her torment points to regain health. Gotta get rid of it now, so I remember. All right. Let's see. She wants those tormented. She wants that might. She says, no, you mustn't move so much. And she is going to reach out to try and grapple him. Well, it's actually... Yeah, okay. So she's going to reach out and try and grapple him. I never decided what to use. Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check. There's might be a disadvantage because of blindness.
It says...
Oh, go ahead.
It says you can't see and automatically fail any ability check that requires sight.
Right. But it does say attack rolls against creatures of advantage and disadvantage. Since you're blinded, and this is considered, a grapple is considered an attack, it's a specialized attack. But an attack nonetheless will be giving you disadvantage, unfortunately. And she will take advantage. Alright, what'd you get there, Kira?
On my athletics check, so that's the question. So am I rolling an athletics check or an acrobatics check, or is it an attack roll against me? Okay.
Yes.
So if I normally have advantage, so I'm choosing athletics, but if I normally have advantage on my athletics, then it would just be a straight roll, right?
It's a good point because it says they're attacks, and so you're challenging and she's attacking. So I'm just gonna say go for the straight roll here. But you said you normally would have advantage?
Yeah, one of my, I think it's my champion feat for my fighter. I have advantage on initiative checks and athletic checks.
Okay, fantastic. Go for an advantage athletics. So I'll give her advantage, but you may take your advantage as well.
Lovely. I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. She rolls a 22, I'm sorry to say. So she does grapple onto you and kind of, as she grabs onto you and you hear her long, spindly, jagged fingers grab you. You hear in your mind here, no, hold still, you'll learn. Ready? And she's going to take Grovel Thrash and smash it into you. It's not a nat 20, despite her special abilities. But it is going to be a 27 to hit, so that will probably hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Ember, did I have you roll against the Aura of Agony last turn?
I don't believe so.
No, okay, why don't you go ahead and do that now, con save. So that's going to be 16 bludgeoning damage, Kiro.
22, Brian.
Yeah, you're good. You will take no damage, you're good. So yeah, you're going to take 16 bludgeoning damage. I think that's what I said. She is going to take 5 psychic damage from her own weapon as she experiences your pain with you. And you are also going to take an additional 4 psychic damage of just raw pain in your blindness. Okay. She says in your mind, "You're learning, but not fast enough. Come with me." And she's going to start dragging you deeper into the tunnels. You're going to be kicking and screaming, no doubt, but she does drag you a little deeper into the tunnels. That is going to bring us to Yvain's turn. Yvain, as I assume you pop out, or I'm not going to assume anything. What would you like to do?
Absolutely, you should assume that I pop out. So yeah, she's going to start dragging, yeah? Is that how it works? What's the range between me and her?
Between you and the witness?
Yeah.
So if you take that 5 feet forward to be next to Tomata and take a little peek, she's not to be seen anymore. She went down the side passage. So you can't see her. I will give you to the edge of the passage, though, if that helps. You can. It is 60 feet to, like, the first corner where you might be able to see her. You probably go a little closer if you want to. But you've lost line of sight on her.
I am going to hold my initiative.
Okay, who do you want to hold past?
I am going to hold actually past Ember, I think.
Okay, understood. All right, that brings us to Tomata. Tomata, you do witness Kiro kind of maybe blindly swinging the trident and then get like grabbed by the shirt and then her like knocking Kiro like in the side of the leg and then like turn around, start dragging her and the hammer down the side passage and disappear.
Okay. I have 60 feet of flight, so I would like to move forward so that I can see, or at least get as close as possible.
All right, 55 feet will get you line of sight on the witness. She has a little cover, but you do have line of sight. If you took that extra 5 feet, but you got Kiro there too being dragged, so it's a little difficult. But you do have, you can see her now.
Okay. I know this didn't work for Dryson earlier, but we're gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
First thing, I'm gonna quicken Mind Sliver as a bonus action.
Okay.
She owes me a DC 17 intelligence saving throw.
Rolls a natural 1.
All right.
Weren't expecting it.
Okay, so she's going to take 9, and 1 second. Does this trigger this round or next round? All right, so the elemental essence shard will trigger next round.
Okay.
And then for my normal action, I'm going to cast Command. Which, before I do that, hold on. She has a -4. Ooh, nice, to this saving throw.
Oof. Very good.
So DC
what is your command?
17. It's going to be halt.
Halt. Okay.
On its turn, the target does not move and takes no action or bonus action.
Okay. With the -4, that's going to come out to 21 to save.
All right, I tried. That's my turn.
All right, so you say halt, and in your mind you hear, so you've come to learn. That will bring us to Drycerin. Drycerin, you are still wrapped up in these chains that you were broke. No. The teleportation element would have popped you out, so now you're free. And despite that, you do see Drycerin still clasping, like her life depends on it, to this pendant, and is praying her little heart out. Is there anything you'd like to do, Drycerin?
So she's disappearing?
She's dragging Kiro deeper into the tunnels.
Huh. So
you can probably
if
hear
I use
Kiro...
my bonus,
Sorry, go ahead.
if I use my bonus action to Step of the Wind, which equals a dash.
Yeah.
45 plus 45 is 90?
90. Yep, 90 feet. You're gonna have to stand up though, as a reminder. You are knocked over right now. Which would be half your speed. We round down in D&D, so 40, 20. It costs you 20 feet to stand up.
Okay. Would that get me... Well, how close do I need to be for what I wanted? One sec. This is all in so many different tabs.
I get it.
Can I see within 120 feet of her?
Can you see within Can you be within 120 feet? What was the question, sorry?
Basically. Can I be within 120 feet?
Sure. Well, if you don't need to see, you already are.
I'm unsure. Okay. I want to use Elemental Burst. As a magic action, you can expend 2 focus points to cause each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere within 120 feet of you to make a DC 14 Dex saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 3d8 acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder, your choice, or as half as much on a successful save.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you don't really need to... yeah, I guess it doesn't say, huh? 20-foot radius sphere on a point within 120 feet. It doesn't say you have to see it. So you're good.
Is there a way I can position it where the 20-foot doesn't hit Kiro?
I am sure it's possible. Let's go take a little peek. 120 feet, you say. That's a pretty decent range.
And
yeah, I think you're going to be
20-foot radius sphere. I just want to... Okay, I'm going to spin those.
Yeah, you're totally good.
Points.
We'll say that in your prayers, you ask for the Storm Lord's wrath, and you give a little bit of yourself, a little bit of your energy, some of your own physical power, and you allow him to guide your power to where it should be. And deep in the tunnels, way over here, a blast, like a massive thunder. If it's cool, we'll say maybe the flavor type's thunder, because I don't know how lightning bolts shooting down here. I don't know.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, thunder works too, because as a shenanigans.
Sure.
Once again, Tempest Domain.
Oh, you. Excellent. All right.
Hail Divinity Destructive Wrath, please.
Perfect. Fits the bill. Perfect. All right. How much damage are you just handing her?
3d8, so 24.
She fails the dex save, so she'll take the full 24 damage. As this boom of this thunder goes off, the whole tunnel sort of shakes, threatens to fall away. And Kiro, you hear her groan as you hear the sound of bones cracking under her skin. And as a pause comes over, you hear in your mind, Drycerin, you hear, just. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's all of my action economy.
Got it. Well, she's going to do a Pain Echo. And Tomada, would you roll a wisdom saving throw, please? You haven't been educated nearly enough.
Yeah, but she's gonna take the elemental essence cold damage first. 18.
Okay. Oh fuck! Takes 18 damage. Oh, laying in. She'll get an additional pain point for that. And she cries out and as much as she can with a sewn shut mouth. Yeah. What did you roll on your?
All right, what am I rolling? I'm sorry. A wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom save. Yeah.
Is this against being restrained or paralyzed?
Nope.
Okay. 18, 20.
20. 20 is a save. You'll take half damage. You feel her bones, just for a split second, you feel her bones break as if they were yours. And she says, wasn't she marvelous? In your mind, you're like, nope. And you just kind of shut that vision out as intensely as you can. Rather than 18, you're going to take 9 points of sight. Well done. And that's all for you, Dreiser? Magnificent.
Yeah.
Hero, you are up. You are blinded. You are grappled.
Okay,
And
so
I need you to
have...
make me... sorry, I'm very sorry. I need you to make
You're
a
fine.
con save because you are in her aura that.
I love con saves. I don't like any saves actually. Bad. 22.
22 is a save. You feel pain, but you don't let it consume. What would you like to do?
Things that I'm good at, I'm real good at. So I have a question if this is possible for me to do. So I have the Tavern Brawler feat, which gives me like an enhanced unarmed strike and everything, but one of the properties that it gives me with my enhanced unarmed strike is push, and so it says once per turn when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can deal damage to the target and also push it 5 feet away from you. I'm assuming that I'm not going to sneak a trident in here and try to hit her with that while I'm grappled. I'm assuming I can't do that. Is there some
You
way
can.
that I can? I can?
Yeah, she's just got you like this, right? Your hands are free, so you can start jamming your trident into her if you want. But you can also punch her. With the push property, if it does push her back and shove her, that would break the grapple, pretty sure. I think that's how that works. If you force a grapple E or grappler out of their space, then it ends the grapple. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'll double check.
Then if I can do that, well then I have another question. So I can attack twice per action. Can I make one of those an unarmed strike and one of those weapon attack, or do I have to do 2 of one or the other?
Normally you're not allowed to attack with 2 weapons, but since your fist is attached to your arm, I'll allow it.
I hope it is. I was promised
Maybe not
that it
for
would stay
long if you-
attached.
Yeah.
Listen, Yvain promised me it would stay attached. I'm holding her to it. Then that's what I am. Actually, you know what? We're in close. Then I'll just hit her twice. I'll do my enhanced unarmed strike. If the first one doesn't push her away, then I'll try to push her away with both of them, just because I would really like for her to stop touching me.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's perfectly fair. All right, maybe some attacks.
Disadvantage though because I'm blinded, right?
You sure do.
Okay. Oh, one of them was a 20, but it wasn't the low one.
Oh.
The low one's a 10.
A 10. You punch her and you feel like a jagged bone under her skin sort of scrape your knuckle and you don't quite get her.
I hate Whitestone. I hate Whitestone so bad.
I gotta keep the gothic horror Whitestone themes alive somehow.
I rolled another 20 on the same dice, but I can't use it again.
I'm sorry.
That is 7 plus 8 is we just did this math. Is it a
7, 14, 15 to hit. 15 does not hit, I'm sorry to say. She's got you, and you're like full hockey fist fight. You're just like trying to like get over there and get her back, but she's unfortunately not letting you have any. She goes, no, stop your fighting, stop your fighting. You're going to learn from this experience. You have a bonus action?
Ooh. I might. This is another. I'm sorry. I have all of the like. Maybe this works, but it is also entirely possible that it doesn't. I have my second wind. I have a tactical shift where I can activate it. If I activate it with the bonus action, I can move up to half my speed without provoking opportunity attacks. I don't know if that breaks the grapple or not, though.
It would not break the grapple. I'm sorry to say.
It's fine. I'm gonna cast it anyway, because hit points.
Sure. Take a moment. Get your second wind going. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll some hit points.
She's already hanging on to me.
Yeah.
For the moment, we're staying where we are. Well, not
Fair
staying,
enough.
but okay. So then, action, bonus action. I get back 8 plus 6 is 14.
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you. 14 points back, and that is the end of my turn.
All right. That'll bring us to Mr. Van Zyl. Ember, what are you gonna do?
I've got a view up the passageway. Ember's going to take a knee, and he's going to reach into the magic bag on his hip, and he's going to take out a small brazier and set it on the floor. And he's going to raise the flame in the brazier. And say odd seal, and we'll summon forth an elemental 90 feet down the passageway, the spot that I just left.
Got it. Yeah, you say these words, and just like a little oh, come on, brain. Just like some of the ashes, some of these embers, just sort of like almost jump out of the brazier, and like almost like as if you tossed it like a stone. It just makes its way all the way down, like underneath Tormata, and then almost like taking the oxygen from Tormata's investiture of wind, it suddenly like spins out and turns into this cyclone of flame that like grows arms and like a big face and blasts light and heat from it and just appears.
And the command will be, kill the one with the hammer.
Okay, fair enough. And I suppose we're going to go do that now, huh?
Yes. I think we should do that now.
All right. Let's get that fire element.
Actions, multi-attack.
All right. So we're probably going to move... I think this very neutral creature was given a command. It is most effective within 5 feet of its enemy. As much as I hate to say it, it's probably going to just move through everybody and block the other entrance. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So, sorry to say, Kiro, a monster of pure flame is going to move through you and the person grappling you. Let's see here. You move through space here. About inch. Enter creature's space and stop there. First time it enters creature's space on its turn. So you're going to take a D10 of fire damage, Kiro, as is the witness. That's going to be 4 points each. So 4 points to you, Kiro, 4 points to her. And then, by all means, Ember, if you want to take it away.
Yeah,
we
might as well reach out and touch the witch with the hammer.
Fair enough.
Or try to. But I'm betting a 9 is not going to hit for the first one.
No, a 9 is not going to hit, unfortunately.
Oh, why does it always do that? But conveniently, we have 2 firearms, and I can try to touch you twice.
Hell yeah.
How about a 23?
23 will hit. Go ahead and, well, there's your damage, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. She is burning. New condition just dropped. She's on fire. Incredible. So that was 11 damage?
Yes.
Man, she takes the 11 damage. She shrieks the pain. She kind of takes the pain, but she shrieks because there's like a lot of light. All of a sudden, she goes, "Light, no, it's alive." Is there anything else you'd like to do, Pepper?
Bonus action. No, I'm good.
All right, fair enough. As she takes that, she's going to use her last legendary action to... You know what? I think she's going to try and hit the fire elemental with it. Yeah. I need a wisdom save from the fire elemental.
Yeah, not
or
their,
sorry,
not,
yeah, wisdom save. Wisdom save.
They're not their strong suit. But I did roll an 18.
Very nice, very nice. The creature sort of sort of like reaches up and sort of like almost smacks at its head a little bit, but then kind of resolves itself fighting. It's going to totally fuck a lot of sixes.
Was that a physical touch?
That was not. That was this is psychic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 6, 12, 18, that would be 9 points of psychic damage to the element.
Okay.
Cool. So cool. That will bring us to Yvain's turn. Yvain, what would you like to do?
Oh, if it's started its turn within 5 feet, it can have a die 10 worth of fire damage.
All right, we'll do that on the start of her turn.
Okay.
I will
that was
need
the legendary. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I will need a con save from the elemental as it did start its turn within her aura. So I will need a con save.
Okay. 16.
Man, everyone's just saving on these, man. Who cares about aura bag? Nobody cares. I thought it was going to be really scary. Okay, that's going to bring us to Yvain's turn. Yvain, you are up, my friend. What do you want to do?
All right, I'll take my full movement and see where it puts me.
Okay. 5, 10, and then another 20 takes you to that far down the hall.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my action and dash because it's all I got.
Fair.
Like I can't do anything out here. If there's another bluff that I can keep an eye back but take cover as needed, that's great. Okay.
Well, you'll be at it's not quite the end of your movement, but you have 5 left and you can't get through Tamara's space at this point.
And I can't get to.
Yeah, so you can't see her, which means she can't see you right now.
All right, but I can see, you know something? Let me go see if I've got any bonus action sorts of things, but I'm not necessarily unhappy with what's going on here. Oh, that's what I'll do for a bonus action. Sure, why not? I'm going to go ahead and pull out my map, and I'm going to summon the archer.
Okay, you're alight with starlight, and a constellation of archer will form across your arms, your chest, and you will be empowered by the archer. Very cool. All right, that's going to bring us to the witness. The witness is first and foremost going to use her torment points to regain health, because she's bloodied. Forgot to mention. Has been laying into her a bit. We're gonna roll to see if she gets her chains back. No chains, so she is going to think. Oh, she started her turn, so go ahead and make the D10, Ember.
4.
All right, she'll take the 4. Okay, let's see. She is going to say, there are many here who need to learn. I should not be selfish. And she is going to provoke the opportunity attack from the fire elemental as she pushes Kiro back towards friends and family.
Okay. 17?
17 just hits, so she'll take that additional 15. And I believe she takes a D4 because she's burning.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. She's looking pretty hurt. She says, No, now's not the time. Just, but I must do my master's bidding and teach heroes what it is to crumble. And she's going to lift the hammer over her head, and she swings it right past you, Kiro, and she smashes the ground, and the earth just tremors under its might as she is going to collapse the way. I need Elemental, Kiro, Ramada, and Yvain to all make dexterity savings.
I'm flying. Do I still have to make that?
Yes, as the ceiling will fall, or some of it.
Oh, well,
so I'm going to go ahead and just say this even before I touch this dice, that I'm going to use one of my cosmic omens because it was a wheel, because I got nothing on the dex save.
Fair.
So I'm just going to say that I'm going to use it right now. So that was 13 on the dice, and I need a d6. Come here. You'll do. For a total of 16.
16 is a failure.
Excellent.
How about you, Kiro?
12 is definitely a failure then.
It's a failure. It's Ramada.
I'm gonna take nothing as I trigger Freedom of Winds. But I'd like to move down the hallway 30 feet.
Let's okay, sure.
East? East? No, the other way.
Oh, this way. 30 feet down the hall. So what's going on here?
If I'm targeted by an attack while the spell is in effect, I can use my reaction to teleport up to 60 feet. It takes me out of range of the trigger and attack. I'm not affected by it.
Okay, so you could go as it needs to be a place you can see. Does say unoccupied space you can see. Okay, you get as far down the hall as you can, and you do avoid it. How did our elemental do there, Ember?
18.
18 is a save. Well done. So Yvain and Kiro are knocked prone. You guys are going to take some damage. That's going to be 52 points of bludgeoning damage to you as the both of you. And that is a 20-foot emanation, which means that the ground now becomes difficult terrain in that area. And as you are prone there, Kiro, she's going to lift up the hammer and say, I must do his bidding. And she's going to bring the hammer down on you. She's still got you. She's still got you prone on the ground. She's going to try and get you out. That will be a crit with her extended crit range, unfortunately.
Oh, shit.
Can you...
Can I see this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can force her to take a D4 off from the astrology thing that I have.
Okay. You force her to take a D4 off, but it is still a crit, and crits are considered auto hits.
All right, so I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, no problem.
But will it still be a crit?
Well, you don't reduce the roll; you reduce the total.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, does it mitigate critical damage? Like, obviously,
no, it doesn't mitigate critical damage.
Then never mind.
Okay. Okay, Kiro. I'd like you to roll me a d20, please, as you are going to take a lingering injury, but it is your choice if it is bludgeoning or safe.
I'll take bludgeoning, just cause.
Fair enough.
I rolled a 9.
A 9. So as you're laying on the ground, she brings the hammer down on your head. And she smashes your head as hard as she can with the hammer. Not as hard as she can, but certainly hard enough that you suffer a major concussion. I'm going to send you what the detriments of major concussions are on a Zoom. And I'll give you the damage in a moment. Okay, there we go. Just roll it over here. Eight. So that's going to be 40 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, I'm unconscious.
Okay, she's not doing this lethally. She wants you to live. So she just fucking knocks you out. And as she knocks you out, she looks like satisfied with her work. Yvain alone, you would notice she's like on fire and her flesh is like burning and she's like wincing in pain. She suddenly like looks pointedly at the hammer. She says, "Is that my love? Do you mean it?" And you're going to see there's going to be this stomach curdling wave as you see black obsidian spikes sort of drill their way out of the handle of the actual hammer, and the faces on the actual mallet begin to sort of like form and move and become amorphous and kind of wave into one another like a flowing wave of pain. And the hammer just seems to just emanate strength. As in this moment, Grovel Thrash becomes exalted and unlocks its true potential. She says, you see in her pain, like tears coming down her eyes. You hear in your minds, she says, "This has been magnificent. But my master calls. We will pick up our lessons later." And she looks to you specifically, Yvain. She says, "Remember what we've done here today. Remember, because Ayun does not have all the knowledge. Only in suffering will you know everything." And she points the hammer at the ground and will activate her burrowing steed. And the ground will just pull itself away at her touch. And she'll sort of fall into the earth as she goes. We'll come to a bit of a narrative point at that point because it will begin to fall after her, but Ember, your elemental, can move between very small spaces, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. As small as an inch.
And I imagine that the orders aren't changing here.
Oh, hell no.
The fire elemental just dives at the hole and just vanishes between the inches between rocks after her to either slay her or be slain deep within the earth. But she does fall into the earth and it crumbles behind her. And with that, the combat is over. Yeah.
And
so
for narrative purposes, Ryan, if her burrow speed is less than 50, it will enter her space and continue to stay there.
Absolutely. It's actually kind of fun notes because now that it's improved, it has a certain quality that might kind of be interesting. So yeah, as it flies into the earth, and everything kind of settles for a moment, the ground still quakes as battle ensues in the earth. You might even hear the just the muffled sort of like cries within the earth of this person and the flame like language of the wrathful elements. And then sort of the sounds will cease after a time. And I think you will not lose you won't lose concentration ever, but just like the sounds of combat will seem to end.
Dookie.
What now?
So I know that I am prone, but if I were just to sit up, do I have eyes on Dreiser and do I have eyes on Kiro?
You have dries. You have dries. You have eyes on Kiro, and because magical light, you have eyes on Mata as well down.
That's not as necessary. So I'm actually not going to try. Just well, it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and stand up. But it's a free action. I just realized Tormata hasn't actually neither Tormata or Dreiser have seen this. So, really ornate scroll in her hand, and as she stands up, the image of the archer changes to the chalice. And she's spent a bit of time working on these maps now. And I am going to heal myself because I am fucked up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm gonna heal myself as soon as I can find the freaking spell. Cure wounds, yeah. So I'm going to heal myself. Oh, hold on, I've got to. All right, so 26 minus 2 is 24. Plus 3 is 27. Plus 4 is 31. All right, so I'm going to heal myself for 31 points of healing because, oh my god. And then I'm also going to hit up Kiro for 1, 2. 15 points of healing.
Thank you. I am conscious again.
But fuck, does your brain hurt?
It does often. It's okay. That is an interesting question. Like, because I know you said major concussion. I'm assuming in Kira's line of work and life, she's had concussions before. Can I tell that it's worse than the ones that I've had before?
Make a medicine check.
Uh, 10.
10? Yeah. I mean, you don't know how to fix it, but your brain is like the migraine. Your brain is thumping. The headache is tremendous, more than any other concussion you've had. So, last time you had a concussion, you just kind of waited it out, but it hurts like a mother. So yeah, you're pretty sure it's a major concussion.
You can walk over and help her up and help steady her as we get to the rest of the group.
All right. As you steady her and you walk over the hole that she disappeared from, the ground is hot, like there is some kind of creature of fire superheating the tunnel beneath your feet or something like that. So just a fun note, fun little here. But yeah, you do so. I assume the party sort of comes together.
Yeah, I'll take a quick fiver. Well, not really a fiver. It's a 6 second deal. Uh, and draw the power out of my rod and give myself a pack slot back.
Fair. Okay, you all come together in the causeway. You notice now that you can look around, you notice like a series of tunnels around here. Just quite a few interconnected tunnels. And you also could probably hear Drystrom quietly praying to themselves with a fanatical fervency.
But would it be wise to put our injured on the carpet and go back to the surface?
Exfil is significantly warranted. Given how narrow it is, I'm not certain that the carpet's going to do us any favors.
I understand.
Because it's one person wide.
Okay. So you're all. Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay.
Actually,
so you guys just wanna...
it says the carpet is 5 foot by 7 foot. So if you'll let me load folks up, then I'll load folks up.
Sure can. That fits the dimensions in the top. Cool. So you throw Kiro, who is just like almost crippled by the pain in their head, and Bryson, who is, well, a lot of you are, your two frontliners are significantly beat up. The rest of you may be like a little more mentally coming off of the mind-racking pain that you felt in different instances. And you load up Kiro and Drystrom and sort of make your way out.
Did the tunnel collapse behind the maid?
Yes. All that earth had to go somewhere, so it kind of broke out of her way and then kind of fell atop her as it got after it was done getting out of her way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you make your way out. Give me a survival check, whoever wants to try and find their way home.
I will do it.
Yeah, you steer the carpet. I've got my own flight
25
as well, so
yeah, no issues. You guys follow your van, you backtrack expertly, and you find your way back to Castle Whiterun through the dungeon cellars. Like, you see some of the riflemen as you guys kind of come through, like, there's a moment there where they're unable to hide their appearance as you guys come back a broken, bloody mess a little bit, and especially two of you, and are just kind of like shocked by you guys both come through, fucking bandages around your head, like your whole body's in casts. They're like a little shocked at the punishment you guys took as you come through. But you get back up into Castle Whitestone, which I need to load. And you, let's see, you basically find, I don't know, well, you're in Castle Whitestone. What would you like to do now that you're back in Castle Whitestone?
Uh, I Yvain can steer the carpet where she wants. I'm going to find Bev and Ulfric, Ulrich,
Got it.
Ulfric,
Ulrich.
whichever it is, uh,
No problem.
and Gwendolyn to make sure that they got to Percy and Vexalia.
Absolutely. You find your way upstairs, or you're directed by some of the guards, and you find uh, Beverly, Finch apparently as well, because and Ulrich, sort of standing in sort of like an upstairs foyer together, looking a little. Finch as always is kind of stoic and resolute. Not anything new there, but Beverly and Ulrich look a little bit more like looking a little shocked or a little like taken back by something. And you guys appear, both of them. Well, I think all three. Finch being Finch, I think there's just like an eyebrow raise as you guys come in beat up. Not out of like judgment, just like, oh wow. The other two are more like, holy crap. Beverly says, what happened?
We need to get medical attention for Kiro and for Drycerin. And we should probably get word to either the coin mistress or to Lord Percy, who will certainly want to report.
Well, she kind of, Beverly, or Finch will speak. Finch will say, I wouldn't recommend it right now. Lord Derolo is very upset. Gwendolyn's okay. She's scared, and I think, maybe major therapy might be in order. But physically, she's well. But the coin mistress, well, she is not quite as well. She came back kicking and screaming and speaking nonsense. Just completely lost her mind. It's like she's gone mad.
What did she say?
She was talking about things she saw. It sounds like crazy hallucinations. I didn't make out a lot of it. Just it sounded like rambling, really, and kind of crying and upset, and said that she saw her like. She didn't talk a lot about what she saw, but she whatever she saw. It has her in a state. The doctor of the castle is with her now, trying to assess her. I would give the Lord some time to maybe calm down. He seemed rather angered by the state that his wife and his daughter.
Certainly.
But we should get you guys somewhere to sleep. So, Beverly, could you? Beverly goes, oh yeah, absolutely. And she'll run over to one of the servants or the riflemen, who are all sort of almost in solidarity, like standing around, holding their rifles, kind of stoic. And she kind of asks someone, and they direct you towards your previous guest rooms, where each of you may, take some respite. And I will say, Finch being as cool as Finch is, who's like single digits here?
Sorry, what?
Or who needs help? Who needs healing? Obviously. How much healing?
I'm down to 13 hit points. I had a 63.
I'm at 21 out of 100.
Okay, so Finch will just put a hand on each of you, and will lay on hands 25 hit points to each of you, just as a starter, from their lay on hands pool. And is going to say, I'm going to go into town and see if I can't find any other medics, and is going to depart with Melisaris to go look for some medics for you guys. If we want to fast forward all of that, just get to the result of that. medics come to see you guys. You can take a short rest, and that will be the medics wrapping you guys up.
If we're gonna do that, I'll lend a hand, and I'll hit Kiro with 19.
Nice. 19 hit points. Go. Right. The medical professionals are going to talk to you guys during that course of that short rest. Kiro, you were told that you need to sleep. You need that rest. You need to wait for it to pass, or you need a miracle. But those don't come every day, so maybe take a couple weeks to rest. As for the Drycerin side of things, the local medical sort of come out and will say, your friend has suffered a mental break. She is quite mad. Normally we would recommend an institution, but she seems to have good resolve about her. She is a monk, and they're often very resilient of mind. I would give her a couple of days before considering anything of an institutional nature. I don't know if things will last indefinitely, but she certainly needs time to cope with whatever it is she faced that has made her take to prayer so fervently. By all means, the best thing that you can do for someone who is going through a traumatic experience is just be there sometimes, and maybe not force anything. If they want to talk, let them talk, but let them know that you're there. These are all very good tools to use when someone's going through a maddeningly hard. So, recommend care. If you excuse me, I need to inspect the youngest lady of the house, and he will depart down the hall.
I'd like to spend the sorcery points to regain a 5th level spell.
Sure.
And then I'd like to cast Legend Lore. The famous person being that maiden we just fought.
All right. Legend Lore.
I'd like to know some significant lore about it.
Hey, that's fair. All right. Do you have incense worth 250 gold pieces plus?
I do.
Haha. Very cool. All right. Why don't you, just for flavor's sake, describe this 10-minute ritual? You sit down for 10 minutes with all of this incense. What does that look like?
Yeah, so Tormata finds a clear space, sits down, and almost immediately an icy aura appears around him as runes appear as he's doing the casting. Towards the end, he grabs out a piece of paper and a pen and just lays them in front of them. And as the information is being pulled out, he writes it down. I think for everybody who actually gets close enough to him, that you'd hear like cracking ice as it like shifts and moves around. And then probably whisperings, mostly in Draconic, as that seems to be the source of his power.
Excellent. 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 Okay. This person is famous in certain circles, and so the legend lore will succeed. Do you use there's the ivory strips. Maybe you kind of almost beat on them like a piano stick or like a piano stick. And you are going to learn of this individual. Some lore is as follows. Her title and what she is known as these days is the Witness Below. She is the champion of the crawling king, Torog, the god of torturers and jailers and the creator of the Underdark. She is the wielder of Grovel Thrash, the obsidian warhammer of... it is an arm of betrayal. It is the Torog's greatest weapon to mortal kind. You hear these words in your head in the same voice as the Watcher. She says, I am the Watcher of the Wound. I do not ask for release. I ask you join me in the truth beneath. As the spell begins to fade, you're sort of catching the last wisps of divine power from it. Something that you already know, which is that she was a formerly devout priestess of Ayun and Iman. This is good. She was presumed... she disappeared 70 years ago, which begins to narrow things down. The last thing we'll give you is perhaps a direction of sorts.
Did you say a direction?
Yes. Where are you? It tells you that in the city of Westron, there is a seer, and her power comes from the touch of the prophet. If you find her, you may learn more.
Okay. When Tormata's done with that, he'll clean everything up and put everything away. He'll walk over everybody and says, and he'll lay down the parchment, with the notes that I just typed in there. It says, I managed to learn at least this much. I'm not sure if it helps. This isn't my area of expertise. Dragons and Tiamat, and I got you. But this, no. But this is what I learned.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can do quite a bit with this. Thank you, Torog.
Torog?
I'm sorry, Tormata, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
kill him. Take him out.
Would you mind changing your nameplate? Because it's hard for me to remember the name sometimes.
All good. You just called him the Crawling King as well.
I'm sorry. It was an accident.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, he like looks at you and like looks at himself. I don't think I'm a worm, but thank you. I think maybe.
She would have called you by your name. I'm sorry, that was a player error.
Yeah. Okay. After about, what is it that you guys would like to do?
Oh, we've had quite the day, haven't we? Like, isn't it evening time and probably time to maybe get some food and go to bed?
Yeah, it's going to be evening. I see the sun's going down. That makes sense.
All right, then perhaps we should get some food and clean up and rest well and wake up in the morning.
You find yourself at a rather surprisingly, despite the fact that you're guests in this home, a rather quiet meal. where the lords of the house are not present, but you will eventually be attended to by Lady Vesper. You see, new to some of you, you see this woman who does have, facial appearance similar to the Lord and Lady of the house. She has snow white hair. She wears elegant dress. She's a young lady. And she comes in and she says, my humblest apologies on behalf of the Drolo family. As you can imagine, it's been a rather dramatic day, and we mean no offense in that you're unattended at dinner. It's probably the first time that's happened in this castle. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, but please, your family should take care of it. Do you need... We can eat rations, right? We're fine. Do you need to go be with your family?
And as a note, you guys do have a decent spread. Like, the table is filled with food. You're good. She says, my father is at my mother's side, and my youngest sister seems like she'll be all right. She's a strangely resilient child for her age. Yes, our family has faced some distress this day. But I will not say that the Dorolo family failed to attend to this. So here I am, and would like to make myself available to you. Because she sits down. She says, if there's anything that needs to be discussed.
Well, it was, as you said, an exciting and involved day. I'm glad to hear that Gwendolyn is managing all right. I am concerned about something we heard said, and that was whatever this witness below creature was.
Witness below creature?
Yes.
But she hasn't been briefed yet.
I'm aware. Said that they took something from Gwendolyn. I don't know if it was the thing of your father's that she had that was taken, or if it was something obviously not physical, because she looked physically okay. This was obviously a creature of supernatural origin, and one tied to one of the betrayers. And Ember will gesture to Tormata, was able to tease some information from beyond the veil. The creature that has created quite a warren of tunnels underneath the castle is a servant of the Crawling King. And
what is a Crawling King?
One of the betrayer gods.
She visibly shudders. She goes, well, I will, thank you for telling me. I will tell my father at once. I have no doubt he will see to it that those tunnels are raided.
It has a vestige.
Like my father's cloak and my mother's bow.
Exactly.
Yes, but one bound to the Crawling King.
Things are... Well, she's like shocked, and she goes, the world's gone to madness.
Madness is, I think, exactly where we're at.
I will inform my father as immediately as I will inform him immediately. Um, well, you should know that's everyone got back out of the dungeon in good health. Uh, well, despite my mother, she is going to need some time to recover from. She faced something. We can't get out of her what exactly it was, but something warped her mind. You see, is the best we could get out of her. She faced something that. You see, she kind of glassy-eyed, and she kind of, kind of finds her resolve, kind of refocuses herself. Because it'll take some time for her to recover. And my father told me that you're all members of the council. If you'd be so kind, I'm sure the council would like to know that their coin mistress will not be available for some time. We don't know how long.
We can pass that message along.
Very well. Thank you very much. And I can't say it enough. The Dorolo family owes you greatly for saving Gwendolyn. Thank you very much. Is there anything that I could do for all of you at this moment to say as a thanks?
No thanks is necessary amongst friends.
You could take a breath.
Thank you. She smiles very, very warmly at Elaine and Ember, and again is like kind of keeping the tears at bay. She says, "Well, thank you very much, and please enjoy dinner. I should speak to my father, and if there's anything that you should need, please tell a servant, and they'll come find me, and I'll be happy to do whatever I can for you. Stay as long as you need. But yes, please inform the council at your earliest convenience. They need to know."
We certainly will.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you again. She says that very to everybody, and will rise and will leave the chambers. You may dine.
But can you go back to, as much as I dislike splitting our efforts, I don't know if it wouldn't be wise for a group of us to go back to Mon. I should report I should report a few things to Vasselheim. And perhaps this would be a good time for Drycerin to make the pilgrimage to the Stormlord's temple. She seems to find comfort in his presence.
Finch says, I can get word to Vasselheim and to the council fairly easily, given, everything. And I think I should go look for the shield that Bahamut told me about. Leave Amon and Vasselheim to me. I'll send a report to the High Scale Bearer and talk to the council. I don't want to get in the way. It sounds like Shade Barrow is going on, and there's a vestige down there that we need now. I think.
Yes, there is. But we will need Dryserin's assistance. And I believe the a pilgrimage where she may find some comfort. Perhaps there are clerics there who could assist her, where doctors cannot.
Nods.
We cannot go to Shadebarrow until we are bid to do so. So until then, we prepare.
Actually, Finch, if you're going to go searching and it's going to require a trip as far as Vasselheim, might I suggest if you would be so kind as to escort Ulrich to Vasselheim to see Earthshaker, which was our intent, and pass on to the Earthshaker that one of the Stormlord's chosen is afflicted. Perhaps there is a rite or a process. I suspect that we can go to Iman because we may need to then apparently turn around and go to Western. But if this witness below was a former priestess of Ayun from Iman, and Ember will look at Yvain, perhaps there are details of her background that might be useful and available there.
That was already in the plan.
But
I can certainly go to Western on my own.
You aren't going anywhere on your own, dear. But if we have to divide forces and tasks, that may be the best way to manage that in the short term.
Finch says, well, okay. I need to go to the Traverse Junction in Amman because Vasselheim is very far, and I don't think Melisaris will want me to have him fly over the sea again. So we'll go to Vasselheim, and I will take Ulfric to the Earthbreaker Den. I should return to the headmaster anyway. He may know something about the shield.
Keep in touch. And she will go hug Finch.
Yeah. And Finch will hug and say fond farewells, and but dutifully, Finch will waste no time and will say some private words with Beverly, and will depart to return to Iman and then on to Vasselheim, and Ulfric will go. Where he will go into.
You will learn more when you meet the Earthbreaker. I don't know the rights of Cord. His ways are more direct than the gods I serve more commonly, though.
All right.
May you find strength in your journeys.
Thank you. And he will look to Drycerin, who I assume is still very ardently at prayer. And he'll just kind of put a hand, a giant mitt on your shoulder. And just kind of give you a look of, he doesn't know what to say. And he says, I think the Stormlord will give us strength. I'll see you again. Thank you. And he'll leave you to your prayer, not sure what to say or how to help, and he will return. He'll take off with Finch. Beverly sighs. Oh, so where now? back to Amon.
I think that'll give us an opportunity to let the council know, find out a little bit about the background for whoever this witness was before he was the witness. Um, it'll give an opportunity for Kiro to get some rest to recover. So, she's not seeing, doubles of all of us, which, in my case is probably not so bad, but, some of the rest of y'all.
I'm fine. I ain't seeing double. And she'll kind of squint mostly of anything.
Hello, Kiro, says the little butterflies flying above your head.
They're not real. They're never real.
They're not real.
They weren't real the first 6 times. They're not real now.
Yeah, I think you guys hear Kiro say all of this, like, oh, they're not real the first 6 times, they're not real now. What you actually hear come out of Kiro's mouth is, not real the first, not real the second.
Yeah, maybe we
her
should
like
back
eye
to
and her
Mon
lip is kind of hanging a little bit.
Maybe we should get back to Mon and rest for a couple of days.
Well, again, I can move as quickly, but I will only have enough material components to do that 4 more times.
We'll use the circle. There's a circle here that we can use, and some folks to facilitate it. This is with an attack on the Dorolo family and on the coin mistress specifically. This is a council problem, and we're covered.
All right, so off we go.
Well, I mean, if needs be, we can rest here tonight, move out first thing in the morning. I don't think that there's an impetus to get done something with immediacy. Whether the creepy Carly lady got away, I'm betting she probably did. But I'm equally betting that it was potentially at least slightly unpleasant. But whatever was sent specifically to deal with Percival and Vexalia, given what we know and understand, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it was a second champion and one of the keeper, considering the history of Vox Machina and Vecna. That wouldn't be surprising.
I think we may know who that champion is, yeah?
I don't believe so.
I have a feeling. Unfortunately, just a hunch.
But let's rest and roll out in the morning. That way, if there's any last minute messages that they need to send, we can carry those. After there's been a chance for things to calm down a little bit.
Okay. All right. You'll want to head to your guest rooms. Cool. Ember, as you're going to your guest room, you're going to see sitting in a chair in the hall just at your door. You are going to see Lord Percival Derola. Kind of lean back and against, like, not in his usual sort of like lordly posture, but clearly like, the stress weighs on him. He seems very stressed. He's kind of laid with that look of someone who, like, has just been like overdone with stress. They're just kind of staring at the wall. That kind of, he's got that look about him. He kind of hears you coming down the hall, and when you finally like approach, he kind of then sort of pulls his eyes from the wall and sort of stands up and retains his lordly posture. He goes, Mr. Zyle?
Lord Delorolo?
It is late, but I thought it only proper to thank you and your companions for what they did for Gwendolyn. And I apologize for what was done to your part on her behalf.
It's nothing that you and your friends haven't done for all of us.
What kind to say so? Would you consider yourself a trustworthy man, Mr. Zyle? It is a bit of a loaded question, but nonetheless.
I would say, generally speaking, that is the case, but I am not without obligations.
And it is precisely those obligations that I rely on when I tell you this. Looks at you and he says, my daughter, she has never taken from me. She's never stolen. She's never misbehaved, really, in any way. So much so that I allow her to sit on rather important meetings and keep what she hears to herself. I have no doubt that what happened was the manipulations of whatever found its way into the mind of my wife. Vesper told me that she asked you to bring word to the Tal'Dorei Council that she'll be unavailable. I think it'd also be important to tell the Council what was taken from my stores. I at first thought they may have tried to have stolen weaponry, which is normally where people go for, but, well, that is where we place most of our protection, naturally. I was foolish not to consider that they might go for something else that The invention that was taken, it is small, but somewhat powerful. It is, well, I've called it a spindle gate core. Essentially, it is a arcane mechanism, machine made of, well, I won't get into it. What its use is that it is meant to be a means of extraplanar communication, perhaps even transportation, if empowered. It's a thing of mechanism. It can weaken planar barriers, it can interfere with the existing teleportation circles, rift stones, temporary rifts. It's meant to weaken or strengthen the barrier between our world and other planets. Why they would want something like this, I can be creative. I'm sure any number of people would wish to get their hands on such a thing. It is unfortunately operational, but not immensely powerful.
Well, I'm certain that will be something that they'd want to know, something that has been shared with us, is that our friend Finch received a communion with Bahamut not terribly long ago. And it was shared that the forces of the betrayers are seeking a way to circumvent the gate. And that makes this theft a clearer goal.
It was meant to help seal ley lines, to enhance teleportation abilities in case of emergencies, to it could certainly be, if a brilliant enough mind were to utilize it or alter it, I imagine it could be used for some dangerous things, but disturb the divine gate. Well, I won't be so arrogant as to think that my hobbies have the power to do that.
Well, I wouldn't think so either, but keep in mind that there are perhaps secrets that may profoundly expand upon its use. I don't know what those might be, but I know someone who likely would know if their lore is correct. And they have a champion on this side of the gate.
I have no doubt that there are other brilliant minds in the world that could be utilized for evil. It just happened before to me, especially. Make sure to inform the council. But
I will.
You'll have good instincts, Mr. Zaya.
Well, hopefully they will serve me slightly better than today. I'm glad that we got your daughter away, but I worry about your wife and how long that they've been at work below Castle Whitestone. They've been burrowing down there for some time based on what we were able to see.
Oh, I can assure you, there's dungeons that have not been touched in more than 2 decades until now. They will be wiped clean of any betrayer filth that might have left itself there.
Yeah. I will share the details specifically with Allura, and I will let her decide how much of the rest of the council needs to know.
Please do. The council does need to know. Allura, well, needless to say, she could be trusted. Good luck, Mr. Simon. Good luck.
Thank you, Lord Delurlo. And if there's anything that we can do in the meantime, please let us know.
He nods, and he will walk with his presence that he has, walk away towards the main family quarters of the home, and you make it your rest, along with everyone else. It is needless to say that some of you will have some darker dreams. Nothing that we would go as far as to call visions, but the image of the woman that you fought the witness below, let alone perhaps imagery of her master, who has largely been described by many ways. Some of you might dream of a magnificent titan-like worm creature, or some of you might dream of clawed hands in the dark coming for you, or others might dream of the pain inflicted by the witness itself, the blows of a hammer breaking your bones. Sleep is difficult, but it does come to you all. You may all get long rests. Let's go to a break. We're quite a bit, so let's go to a break. And we will find our heading thereafter.
Okie dokie.
Cool. Couple aches and pains. Probably more than a couple, frankly. But you know what? As a fun note, no doubt that lady's lost her fucking mind, right? No doubt. Or, like any of you, the disciple of a god, perhaps there might be something to her words. That is something that could be easily tested by any of you, especially that night after the beatings and the took that morning in your dreams. Would anybody here consider the words of the witness below? Her teachings, her speaking about how through suffering you might learn more than any god of knowledge could teach you. Some of you have suffered immense pain yesterday. Was there anything to be taken from that? Did anyone try to take any one thing from that? Or did you all write it off as the ramblings of a madman?
Yvain engaged with it.
Yeah.
I think Drayson maybe had something complex with it.
That's fair. Yvain, did you take damage in that fight?
I did. Although the majority of the damage came from the roof collapsing. I took a couple little clips of psychic damage and then a whole bunch of rock damage.
Yeah. Just want to be sure. So you take a damage. Oh, we'll get to you, Drysford. I'm sure you're... Oh, yeah. Yvain, she was a disciple of I, or claimed to be a disciple of I, and tried to pass along knowledge through pain, whatever that might mean. You suffered. You were hurt. How do you think that emotionally affected you? That's whether it be the pain or the witness's perspective, less about the situation as a whole, more just focused on the witness and her teachings.
Yvain is not certain it's profound. Of course, pain is a teacher. Pain is a teacher of what to do and what not to do. People have been using pain to train animals for forever. We do indeed learn through pain. I don't know that I believe it is exalted, but yes, there's absolutely truth and validity at any level to what she was saying.
But nothing more than as maybe a stimuli.
Not right now.
Okay. Fair enough. And in fairness, Yvain succeeded on all of her wisdom saving throws, I believe, against the psychic damage. Never took a full brunt of anything. So, in fairness, pushed away and boxed off the pain and has written it off as a simple stimuli and kind of maybe waved off the value the prophet had put in all of the pain. But Dreiser, you experience something much more profound through the pain. You find yourself here as you pray desperately to the Stormlord. Why do you think Dreiserin, why was that her reaction? Her body and her mind was bludgeoned beyond limit. And it brought her to a place of reverence and faith. Why, as Dreiserin is, like, to some level aware of what she's doing, why turn to faith in the wake of that psychological break?
After her defeat on the last day of challenging, well, the trials for the day of challenging, basically, she was humbled a lot by a lot of people. And so she went looking for something that would not only motivate her, but give her the strength to be better, to get stronger, to fight better, just to win. But that's the only, so for the last few years now, that's been the only thing she could rely on to give her strength anymore.
Very fair. In your defeats, you trained, and training is painful. It's about harming, maybe in small amounts, harming your muscles, harming your fists, harming your whatever, and having the discipline to push through it. And you're rewarded each time for your pain by becoming stronger. As you pray the Stormlord, the god of war, for strength, did it ever occur to you that your strength didn't come from the Stormlord, at least not all the time, but maybe it came from the pain, growing from the pain? And it led to you becoming stronger as you are now. And that this pain you experienced, this torment and torture you suffered, that it might grow you as well.
Not really. She is never considered, and I think when her mind broke, definitively chose not to consider anything else than Cord. But she does understand, because Cord is not without pain.
Most certainly.
How most of us are initiated is through immense pain. Whether that be physical, emotional, a lot happens. And so she understands growing from things like that. But this was the most sinister and dark way someone has ever presented it to her.
It is a scramble in your mind, and as you awaken this morning and open your eyes, you hear her words in your head, and you realize that the teachings of Torog are not So and before you can even follow that vein, you reach for your amulet frantically and grasp it to your heart once more to keep the Stormlord as close as possible, and you deafen yourself any of these foul teachings, these blasphemous teachings. You deafen yourself to them through unending and fervent prayer, the Stormlord, that he might help you through this dark tunnel that you've been put in. That's where we all awaken and we find ourselves today. Priceroom, take an inspiration.
Thank you.
You're suffering. What is the plan, Aurora Concordant?
I think the plan is to circle jump here to Amon to inform the council first, then get some more durational medical attention and rest for Kiro and Drycerin to deal with their lingering injury. Find out a little bit about uh, the living background for whoever this witness below was.
Okay.
And we'll see what takes loose after that, unless somebody's got a different idea.
Come on then.
To Amon! All right. Wonderful city of Amon. Hey, there's something in the air around here, if you will.
Did the
Oh,
sewer back up it again?
did the what?
Did the sewer back up again?
No,
Sorry.
again. Unfortunately not. It seems that the Festival of the Turning Wind is still going. It is, you missed it, presumably, but for whatever reason, you still see that many neighborhoods are dressed in garlands and streamers and whatnot, and various signs are pointing in different directions around the city. Despite the evil you faced in your travels in the wilds, there seems to be a little bit of the festival left over.
Anyone want a party? I could.
Well, I'll take a look into that, but we ought to talk to Allura first.
Beverly will look at you, Ember. She'll say, I don't want to contradict you or anything. I mean, we should talk to the council. We have to talk to the council, but I just feel like with everything that's going on, like faith is so important right now. Don't you think?
I believe it is. Yes.
Let us send word. We can send a runner, and they can tell us.
I would be more than happy to go on the party's behalf. If you want to write a message and deliver it, you're more than happy to. I just if there's still some festival, I wouldn't want you to miss it.
Yeah, and Ember will write out a message if Bev wants to take it and get it to Allura. And the message is going to be intentionally brief. Vexalia will be unavailable. Something was stolen from Percival. We need to speak. This is of critical importance.
Understood. You pen it. Beverly turns around. You write it all out on her back. Roll it up. You make it. You snap your finger, a little fire, and you wax seal it. And do the whole shebang in the street. And she will take it from you, and she'll say, "Okay, I'll be back." And she'll smile, and she'll fit it into her belt loop, and she'll walk off into the city towards the council district.
I'll lay out the
festival was this? I'm sorry. I was just asking which festival this was because I don't remember. I'm sorry.
It's the Changebringers Festival.
Thank you.
I'm gonna lay out the carpet, and if you folks want to get Kira and Dryson situated, I don't know how serious the goings on are, but having to walk is kind of nasty. So, somebody take them for a drive. I'm going to go to the Merchants Crossroads, and I'll be back.
You know what? I think it sounds like a great idea. You do that. I am going to take the flying carpet to the Grodsbrawl Arena. And we'll invite Tormada to join us if he so desires. Or I will point him out the way of the spark and be like, listen, the most amazing food, best service at that bar right there. If you don't want to come, go have some fun and we'll be right there. Whichever suits you, sir. But I'm taking Drycer and Kira to the God's Brawl.
Fair enough. We will, of course, start with Ember. Ember, you make your way on the carpet. You take a magic carpet ride through the city, and you find your way to the Merchants Crossroad in the Temple District. You sort of fly in, and there's more clerics and priests here than you've seen before, but it's still not as populated as you might have expected. But as you're flying in, you will see the welcome sight of Fiona Baldhand. Standing amongst the priests and clerics and whatnot, you see her just kind of looking a little neutral, and then she sees you, and she lights up, and she waves to you as you come flying in, and she comes over to meet you as you get off your magic carpet. She goes, "Ember, you came! I thought you weren't going to be here."
We ran into a small delay in Whitestone. It was a necessity.
I mean, I have no judgment. The Changebringer takes us where we need to go. We need to go where we feel we need to go, and that's okay. But you made it. It's. I mean, you missed the first 2 days of the festival, but today's the last day. I mean, it's possible you might be able to find well, I'll tell you what. So you missed day 1 and 2 where there was the Call of Fortune, the Coin's Edge. So today, the Changebringer picks her champion. Yeah. But basically, a silver token is somewhere in Namon, somewhere unexpected. And whoever finds it is going to be the champion.
Fantastic.
So that's where everybody is. Everybody's off looking around Namon for the silver coin. It's engraved with the spiral of the Changebringer. So, I mean, you can look for it too if you wanted.
I think maybe I will.
Incredible. Excellent. Well, if you find it, bring it back here. And if it's not found by the end of the day, then there's no champion. But everyone's out looking for it, so good luck.
Thank you.
She'll pat your shoulder and give you guidance. May the change bringer guide you.
Okay, okay.
Big city. Good luck.
Thank you.
Where would Amon go? Or, excuse me, where would you go? Or just stay here? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Or is there, would you begin this scavenger hunt? Is there somewhere you can?
I'm going to need a moment to ponder. But
Hey, no problem.
I think while I am doing that, uh, I'm going to avail myself of my own flight because Yvain is going to take the carpet and go. Um,
Ah,
but I'm going to lift myself straight up, and I'm just going to take kind of a broad survey and see where people are searching.
okay, fair enough.
Um,
Um, if you like, the whole city is. Um, there's many faithful to Changebringer here: merchants, poets, gamblers, storytellers, priests. Why don't you make me an insight check as you take some time to kind of ask around?
that'll be a net 20 for a 22.
Hey, you were a merchant, and you know the other merchants, and who know that's sort of the beating heart of information of the common folk in the city. So you go to the merchants, you go to the tavern owners to hear, and you hear like all kinds of things. You hear that like people are largely staying away from like Avandra centered places of worship because it's supposed to be somewhere unexpected. Um, uh, some people are just going about their day and kind of hoping that it finds its way along their path. Other people are going to places that aren't centers for Avandra. Other people very much are. Some people are like, oh, if it's unexpected, it can't be anywhere near Avandra. Others are going, well, we need to follow the doctrine of Avandra. We need to do what she says. And I'll tell you what, you have a drink with this one particular this storyteller who's in town for it. Um, and he says to you, well, it's going to be found somewhere unexpected. Of course, that's everybody knows that. Somewhere unexpected, in the bottom of your boot or in the bottom of your cup or something. But you have to remember that Avendra is picking a champion. And what does she value? She doesn't value strength or obedience or rank or any of these things. She values change, to have courage to change yourself, to have the heart to refuse to be changed, to be fearless in the face of the unknown, and most importantly, to be able to enjoy life, to take risks. Now, I don't know what exactly I'm trying to tell you, but just remember, as much as this is a scavenger hunt, Avandra is trying to find her champion. So maybe a bit of both. Look somewhere unexpected, but show that you're worth it. Have no fear. And have some fun while you're at it.
I shall.
And he'll buy you your drink and he'll cheers you and he'll wish you the best of luck.
And may Avandra's grace your path and future.
Very kind, very kind. Thank you. And may you find your coin.
And Ember will go to somewhere unusual. Back at New Year's, we all went to a vendor and we forged token coins with Tak and the various gods that we all represented. I'm going to go back to that vendor.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember. Okay, fantastic. Start making your way, searching around for the vendor. Some rolls. Been wandering around a bit. Okay. Okay, you make your way back to this vendor. I think he'd be out today, considering. He doesn't seem to be getting a lot of business. Nobody seems to think that looking for a coin in this place, where they work with coins, is a good idea. It's kind of maybe like reading a broadsheet or something. And you approach and he goes, "Oh, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. What is it that I could do for you?"
I'd like to make a coin.
Oh, most certainly. Yes. Fantastic. He'll set you up. Say, what is it that I can do for you? So, what kind of coin are we talking? Is it something specific?
Yes. Silver coin with the
Very well.
spiral road symbol of Avandra.
He cocks an eyebrow at you. Yes. You mean the you know the
Yes.
the
Exactly.
Oh, I. He's like stunned. He's like, okay. I suppose.
Unexpected.
That most certainly is. Make your own coin.
It's a merchant-driven activity, and she favors merchants. And it is fun. I had a very nice time at New Year's when we made the symbols for the Aurora Concordant. And if the goal is to have fun and to explore some novelty, I can think of no better place to spend my time.
Make a persuasion check. Oh, sorry.
Whether it is true or not true, it's what seems to guide me. 17.
17. Well, I mean, that's what the change bringer's about, I suppose. You know, making your own path. I guess this is. I was making your own path as you can. Well, all right. Let's get you set up. I suppose. He will, and then he will. You know, he gives you like a little refresher on how to make it all work. Basically, make your own press, and invites you to bring in a full silver coin, and you can spend some time crafting it. Why don't we make? This is kind of artistic. Why don't we call it like a performance check?
That'll be a 22.
Yeah, you spend some time there, and you know, like, you find yourself like not thinking about all the evil and pain and suffering and all the shit, and just enjoying making your coin, and maybe like, you know, having a little mischievous kind of ha-ha to yourself about, you know, how, you know, everyone's out looking for their coin, you're making your own. You can't deny there's something mischievous about what you're doing, but it's fun, it's good, and in the end, you make this fine coin of Avandra with a spiral, and you take it. The guy kind of, he's like, you know what? Just obviously mark off a silver. No, you have the silver. He goes, you know, just you're good. I've just been just good work. I don't know. I don't feel the need to charge you. That's all. Just have a good day.
Well, why don't you come at sunset to to the uh, the crossroads, uh, and we'll see what the outcome is.
Okay, absolutely. I'll be very interested to see how things go. So I'll see you there. So congratulations
Amber,
on finding your queen. Amber, pleasure to meet you. My name's Nathaniel.
it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance again, Nathaniel.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, I guess I'll close up. And he'll just kind of close up his shop, or his vendor stall, and then kind of go with you if you wait around for him. And
Sure.
you guys can go, yeah, wander
And
over to.
we'll walk and chit chat. I'll ask him, about his life. It's the conversation is very much about him. It's the bartender thing. What have you? Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and you guys just kind of shoot the shit a little bit and make your way over there, and you'll be very interested to see how things go. But why don't we circle from you, as you've had a very unexpectedly interesting day, which is all the rage apparently on this particular. Termana, did you want to go with crazy ladies?
Actually, something's been bothering him since he first met this group.
Okay.
He is going to step somewhere where pretty much nobody can see him, and going to cast alter self upon himself, and he's going to follow. Oh my God, what's her name?
Beverly?
Yes.
Okay. Sure thing. No problem.
There's just something about her and her actions and the way she does certain things that just something's niggling in the back of his mind. He doesn't know these people, but just something a little odd. Maybe he'll figure something out, or maybe it's nothing and he's just being paranoid, which is pretty spot on for him.
Fair enough. Why don't you make me? Oh, sorry.
He's not going to make any effort to hide himself, as in I'm creeping around stealthing. He just doesn't look like himself, and he's just going to follow her.
Very fair. Why don't you make me a, let's call it a charisma-based stealth check, because this is sort of like a soap-based stealth. You're following, but with a different face. Are you changing your clothes at all?
Yeah, everything.
Sure.
21.
Yeah, very nice. You follow this young lady as she makes her way down. She goes directly to Cloudwatch Palace. She waves to a couple of people she knows along the way. But yeah, she makes her way to the palace, and she kind of gets to a certain point in the palace where, like, you as a sort of stranger can't go. She has more access than you, it seems. But she hasn't been gone for long, and she does reappear, but she does reappear without the scroll. And kind of steps outside the palace, and kind of looks around a little like, now what? And then kind of like looks left over the city and takes off walking again, and you can follow her if you wish. She travels for a time until she comes to the temple district, and at a certain point you're like, I know where she's going. She makes her way to the Cathedral of Bahamut, and she by herself sits at a pew, like near the front of the altar. And you maybe sit back and make me an insight check.
14.
14. She prays like fervently, like really, like she's shut eyes and fervently, and she prays with like almost a desperation about it. Just like fervently and with desperation, and maybe with like a little bit of like grief settled into all of that. She just prays hard for a little while. And on the way out, she drops a significant amount of gold in the alms box. How much you're not entirely certain, but it was a pretty decent little pouch. And kind of goes back into the city, and will your journey will end with her at the because that it's a big city. That was a lot of traveling, went all the way up to the top and all the way down. It will be at around the Merchant's Crossroads where you do see followers of Avandra at. And that is what you witness on your journey with.
Okay. And after watching her for about 10 minutes or so there, then he'll step out and step behind something, revert to himself, and kind of wander up to her.
Okay, sure. She's kind of like walking in the street, and you kind of wander up to her, and she goes, "Oh, Mr. Boda, I hope I said that right. Hi. What brings you? Oh, well, I'm so sorry. You're a follower of Bahamut too. I must have missed you in the temple. I apologize."
Just shrugs and looks at her. No worries. I was just wondering.
Oh,
you're the
okay.
You're the first person from the party I saw, so unless my presence bothers you, and then I'll go find something else to do.
Oh, no, not at all, sir.
Tormata. Just call me Tormata.
Oh, okay. Not at all. I just want to be nice, I guess. But no. Well, it's nice to see you. Are you going to the Merchant Crossroads too to see if Ember's whole thing works out?
What whole thing?
The Evander thing, the turning of the winds. I think that's what it's called.
Without sounding rude, I could actually care less. Not important to me.
Okay. I see. It looks around awkwardly.
And like he'll look at her and he'll lean on his staff. Don't take what I say meanly. It's just for 20 years I've traveled, and I don't have time for festivals and trivial things.
Oh, I see. I like festivals. There's a lot of really bad stuff happens in the world. It's nice to have some fun too.
Shrugs his shoulders. Sure, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're not going, do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? I was gonna go there, but if you don't want to go there, you don't have to, obviously.
Like I said, you're the first person from the party I saw, so wherever you go, I'll go. It's not a big deal. Okay. I have absolutely, unless I wish to research something, I have no reason to be here. We're here for our companions and their health, right? So,
right, and that woman you all faced under the castle, and you were gonna go look at the library about her, I think. But yeah, I'm sure Yvain will be all over that. Okay, well, let's go, I guess. And she'll kind of walk with you towards the Merchant's Crossroads, the place of worship of the altar of Avandra. And it's a little like she's just like not sure what to talk about. You see that she has definitely the look of someone who's like in her brain, like, what should I say? Should I talk about the weather? That's terrible. Just kind of walking awkwardly with you, maybe trying to find for herself a way to make conversation with you. She doesn't know anything about you.
Yeah, he doesn't offer up anything either unless she pointedly asks him. He just walks and looks around and is quiet. He doesn't, obviously he's only known the group a couple of days, but he doesn't seem to do a lot of talking. He's more of a watcher, listener.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, sure. At one point she'll be like, "So, but what brought you to the light of Bahamut?" She has that look of like, oh, like she's like, God, I'm awful. Like on her face, she says that.
Yeah. He's gonna like scrunch his eyebrows. This story you have heard.
Right. But why Bahamut specifically? Not say, I don't know, the Stormlord. I imagine you'd like the Stormlord. You seem to be very, very, very mighty kind of person.
I'd rather self-flagellate and fire than follow him. Not that I have anything against him. It's just abusing oneself for the betterment of something doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps I'm not the person you should speak about religion with. While I understand it, and it is important in a lot of folks' lives, it is not in mine.
But don't you follow Bahamut? Aren't you his faithful?
That seems to be a source of misunderstanding between myself and a lot of people. While I am beholden to Bahamut and his teachings and definitely his protection, as I have stated, my heart is not does not lie with the Platinum Dragon.
Oh. Where does your heart lie, then?
I prefer to worship at the altar of Serenity, the Everlight.
Oh, she's great, right? Serenity. That makes sense because, I mean, no, she's great. She's awesome.
Tell me, what do you remember from when we first met?
Well, I remember you brought the letter from your I think it was like your mentor and the scale bearer and Finch seemed to think it all checked out, and then you told us about how you used to be like a sacrificial follower of the scale tyrant. And then I asked you about Bahamut a little bit and religion and all of that. And then we killed a zombie giant.
The party killed the zombie giant. You stayed back.
She looks a little.
Why was that?
Well, someone had to watch the camp, right? So that a wolf or a bear or some kind of creature didn't take our stuff, you know? Isn't that? Yeah.
He's kind of like looking at her with those cold blue eyes, and he's just kind of like, okay.
Maybe intimidation check.
But he's not trying to intimidate her. He's just looking at her. Oh, that's a horrible roll. Good, that's an 8.
Oh, an 8. Maybe an insight check on top of it too.
Oh, that's a 24.
You're not like she isn't. Yeah, like you're not trying to be intimidating, and it doesn't come off that way. In this moment, but she definitely man, with a 24, you are gonna get something. You catch sort of like a glimpse of you kind of like I don't know how to put it. It's just this feeling, like you got nothing confirming it. You don't catch her red-handed. You don't. It's just a feeling. You get like just from the way she's speaking and kind of how you're kind of conversing with her. You gather you gather two things. You gather that there is like a guilt behind that, like a feeling of incompetence behind that, like a um, uh, I've lost my words in this moment, but that's just basically it. Like, yeah, she's like, she feels a little, there's the word, insecure about that. That she didn't hang back while you all fought the giant. The other thing that you gather is like and this is the key one that you just gather from, like, it's just a feeling on the edge of your brain, your high insight. You get the sense that she's very good at hiding her true feelings behind this sort of, whether it's true or a mask, or if she plays it up or plays it down or whatever, behind this sort of like mask of anxiety, there's truth behind it. And she's very good at covering up her truth with her sort of nervousness.
Yeah, like I said, he's just staring at her with those ice blue eyes, and he just nods and doesn't quite smile, but he gets like like the corner of his mouth will perk up a little bit. I'm not I'm not saying that what you did was wrong. Just everybody's role is different in life, I guess.
She's definitely struggling to meet your eye, and kind of, I guess so. And to accumulate onto your insight, when you say that, and she says, like, I guess so, there is this like weird like acceptance of that fact. Like, she doesn't like resist it or try and put it away or like kind of fight it. It becomes an insecure thing. It's kind of almost like she's like, yeah, like, I guess I, like, in a personal way for her, where it's like, yeah, I guess I'm just not on that level, maybe. And she just kind of seemed to sort of fall into that. And then you guys kind of find your way into the crowd at that point. And yeah, and that's when maybe the party will come to me at some point. But we will circle over to the other three. Yvain, you take Frontliner 1 and Frontliner 2 on your magic carpet ride. Yeah, you're like, hi, everybody. And everybody was like, hi, Kira.
I do have Happy up there with them, too.
Yeah, Happy's up there, too. Looking very guilty. As he has been looking since the puddle incident. Very distracting, very guilty. And Kiro's probably like with her banged up head going, hey everybody, down there. And Kiro, to you, everyone's going, hi Kiro, hi Kiro, hi Kiro. It's not actually happening. And Drystrin, you're closer to the Storm Lord now, and the whistle of the wind, it helps deafen you to anything that happened, and your beliefs are solid for sure. That's why you're praying so hard. And at that point, Yvain, you get off the crazy train and land at the God's Brawl Arena. As you wished. Where are you, God's Brawl? There you are.
Where I am going to step forward just a bit, and I'll speak to Earthbreaker Thunderfist.
All right.
And a cleric, if you happen to have one, a good one.
All right. You make your way back into the arena, and you two kind of walk through. Drystrin, you've met this person, but this whole King Goliath stands in the middle, and he turns around. He is endowed in like not only the black markings of a Goliath, but like black tattoos to sort of like add on or accompany them in a sort of like runic way. He has some salt and pepper, but he is arms like tree trunks. This guy is huge in every sense of the word. He turns around with icy blue eyes, electric blue eyes, one might say. And he says, Bryceman, welcome. Welcome, companions of our devotee here. What is it that I can do for the three of you here?
I don't believe we've met. My name is Yvain Starborn. I am a companion of Zarvolg the Grim and a member of the Aurora Concordant.
He kind of looks at you with a knowing look, and he goes, right. Zarvolg's companion. Good to meet you, finally.
Have you had any meetings concerning the elevation of the Hierophant? And their...
Any meetings?
Do you know what happened?
You mean the divine ascension that occurred before all of them all? Who could have missed it?
Could we have a quiet moment, sir?
You can try. You are generally alone on the training field. Anyone who is near to you is no more closer than like
all right.
60 feet.
So
what's wrong with Drycerin? She's not usually so fervent. Drycerin?
No. Sir, we recently fought the champion of Torog in Western. Drycerin has suffered.
You fought the champion of Torog, the crawling king.
He had a real big hammer.
Well, sure don't bury the lead, do you?
I figured you'd respect a direct approach.
Well, you sure all look like you did.
I do not know whether Drycerin's religious experience is a function of physical damage, which I don't think it is, or if it is the spiritual dilemma or a mental dilemma. But it occurs to me you probably have very gifted healers here who could diagnose it better than myself.
There are many wounds the warrior can sustain in battle, and we must be ready to protect them from all. So, yes, we do have talented healers. Yes, let us take our disciple into our arms, and he looks over at you, Kiro. You have the look of someone who got hit in the head very hard.
I did. It wasn't fun.
No.
Thanks for still reading.
As we start walking to wherever... Oh, sorry.
Do we know how hard this one was hit?
Exceedingly hard. She was hit with a weapon called Grovel Thrash. It was a dark vestige. It was a significant and awful hammer.
You're a really unsettling person, Yvain. You're talking very casually about incredibly, big news, you know?
She does that
You're saying that there was...
It's how I met them.
Yes, please.
It's how I met them. Unsettling information. Very casual.
I mean, just super cash, fought the champion of Torog, is in possession of a vestige of dark power, super casual.
I helped stop an assassination with the dark vestige.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
And then it was completely casual meeting.
I'm getting a 2 out of 3 thing here. I want to make sure it isn't 3 for 3. Did you get hit hard?
Yes, they were both hit quite hard by the
No,
same
you.
individual.
He points at you, Yvain.
No.
She's just like this all the time.
You're seeming. I mean, if you're having like a panic attack right now, and you're just like hiding the calm under apathy, like I get, like it's a very normal defense mechanism. We really do have great clerics here to talk about, trauma buried under, apathy. So, tell you what, why don't the three of you take you into the back, get some clerics, figure out what we can do for you. Okay, come on, everybody. Got it. Right, let's go. And he takes you guys into the back, and he finds you all places like to stay, like stay here. Basically, takes you to, like, the medical wing, gives you all beds in the medical wing, and he goes and finds some clerics, and he brings like a cleric out for each of you, and they basically re-diagnose each of you, and he's shocked to find that there's nothing wrong with you. The cleric's like, other than having suppressed probably months of trauma under a veneer of calm and intelligence, that is most certainly just a very high functioning anxiety person, probably. Other than that, I would need more time to properly diagnose, but that's just like on site. And the Earthbreaker's like, okay, well, you say so. And that cleric just leaves. But the one for Drive Through Hero accurately diagnosed the two of them. We'll sit down with you. Pull the curtain back for you. Your vein goes. So they're saying there's nothing clinically wrong with you, but like, I'd recommend just like opening up. Like, that one's concussed worse than I see most people concussed, and that one has had a mental break. But I'm really most worriedly about you because you seem the best adjusted. And that's not an insult. That's just, have you taken time to just like consider what's going on in your life and the abnormality of it? Had someone around you accept that it's okay to have faced like really dangerous, horrible shit, and it's okay to be, that is fucked up.
Earthbreaker Green told me a story about the Spider Queen and Cord putting her against a mountain with a spear.
Rad.
Yeah. God, he's so cool, right? He's so cool. Oh, and like she just starts breaking down.
It's like, he's like listening. He's trying to connect the dots. He's listening. Storm was pretty cool, yeah.
He is, right?
He's a tough guy.
He also has, and I respect that. And while he hasn't called me specifically, I do think you guys are amazing. However,
thank you.
I occasionally have visions, or I get omens, except getting them and understanding them is not the same thing, and I misinterpreted them. And she will go on to actually tell what happened when the Hierophant was raised. She will tell him the whole story.
Got it.
I misinterpreted that open. And while people were going to die, there's no getting around the fact that my mistake cost people their lives. And there's no stopping, right? Because we've got fucking language. I'm so sorry.
It's the fucking Stormlord's God, but we don't give a fuck, I swear.
Thank God.
You think the Stormlord cares about cussing? You're good. Go for it.
So yeah, this creepy chick comes from out of nowhere and I assume she possesses a child. Who touches children? It's like the shit with Baphomet in Westron. He had 76 children. Who touches children? And then she's just so upset at and he gets the how he she cries and is just so upset and so worried and trying to fix everything and so inadequate.
He lets you get it out. You talk about everything and how fucked up it is, and just like it just comes kind of pouring out of you. And when you like finally like breathe, like finally like that's over, he just kind of like comes at it carefully, but he just like gives you a big Goliath hug.
Oh.
Rubs your back. Says it's gonna be okay. And just kinda is there for you in a super non-judgmental, like accepting moment of like, yeah, like shit's fucked. Shit's super fucked.
Yeah. Oh, she's like happy. She's gonna try to put it together. Wow, no one's just let her sit and cry ever. So this is great.
Yeah. He sits back and he goes, you know what's a pretty unfortunately common thing here at the Godswell? It's we get a lot of these old time warriors, especially those who fought against Chroma Conclave and fought Vecna and so on and so forth. You can't stand to be around a smithy. They hear the sound of metal banging, and it just takes them back to the battlefield. You know, blades slashing against steel. And as much as war is about the war itself, the Stormlord isn't just about that. He's about things that lead to war. And then the war, that's a big part of it. That's maybe 2/3 of it. But then it's also about after that. About after the war, putting down the blade, holding on to those people you fought alongside. And if some old warrior like me could just tell you anything, it's that you gotta have outlets. You clearly are an intelligent person. You need to talk about things. You need to analyze things. You need to sit down with them. And maybe that's not here. Stormlord is a pretty brutal god. There's good sides to him. There's brutal sides to him. But maybe it's not a religion either. Maybe it's in the comrades you've made in these fights who can relate more than anyone in the world. So take time to find these moments, because war's brutal.
Yeah. I think a year ago I was growing crops and shearing sheep.
Wow. Even the strongest warrior can't fight forever. And there's many who might have envied that past of yours.
I wouldn't have left if Mum hadn't decided I was underachieving.
Hey, if you head back, she says that to you, she's well, excuse me for saying so, but a plain-faced liar. Or just a poor judge of character. Just take care of yourself, Starborn. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Earthbreaker.
Do you want some animal crackers and orange juice?
Yes, please.
Gives you a little juice box and some animal crackers and
He's
lets
the
you eat
best.
them. And he will leave you to chill in privacy for a bit, maybe kind of like just kind of eat your animal crackers a little sad and drink some juice. He patient down, opens up the next one, and he's gonna just start making his way around. And there's nothing to be done about Kiro other than bed rest. He does say there are divine miracles that can take care of something like this a lot speedier. But for such power, we don't ask something simple. We would ask something, it's not going to be you, Kira, because we would ask something pretty important to the Storm Lord to be achieved. But if you were to do so, we would be willing to fix all of this pretty quickly. Would you be willing to undertake a pilgrimage? Oh, you're okay. You're fine?
I'm fine.
Right.
Perfectly
how many fingers
fine.
Am I holding up? How many fingers am I holding up?
Those are fingers?
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're clearly not the person to talk to you about this. Gives you some animal crackers and oysters.
Yay.
One animal cracker goes, eat me, please. Yay. And then he's going to head over. Fantastic. Then he's going to head over to Drycerin. And as you sort of pray your way away, Drycerin, the Earthbreaker will speak to you, which is a great honor, of course. Such a cool dude. He says, he kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, it's good to keep your faith close, but you can't hide behind it. You know that, right?
Not right now.
I understand.
Not right now.
Well, you're in the place to do it. We do have altars here. That'll make you feel more comfortable. Take some time and be with your faith, but once you're done healing, you gotta pick your weapon back up. You know that, right? Okay. And he will just direct the cleric to bring you to the God's Brawl's altar. And it is like Drycerin, such a wash of like security and relief. You are in like a sanctified, holy place on the grounds of warriors. This is where wars perhaps have begun, wars might be made, and battles fought and won. This is a place where you know the Stormlord must see you. And with these sort of like open windows where the weather flows through and the sky can be seen, and the great statue of the one-eye spear-bearing Cord before his altar, you can pray truly and fervently to the war god, and he might protect you. And Yvain, he basically comes around because you seem to be the most, working person. He'll basically tell you what you already know. He'll say, Kiro's fucked up. She needs a couple weeks to heal, but if you need her in shape sooner, there can be some divine pilgrimage.
She has 2 weeks. I'm probably more concerned with Drycerin. If we think this is a moment of post-traumatic stress that she will overcome, or if this is something that will require a pilgrimage.
I observed Drycerin's training very closely before the day of challenging last year. I know her as a person and a warrior, and I've known her trainers and have spoken. It's like I said, war is about knowing when to end it too, when to put your blade down, and then when to pick it back up again. Drystrand needs to be with her faith right now, clearly. So let's give her a couple days, and let's have faith the warlord, the stormlord, will give her the power to stand back up. Let's have some faith.
I can do that.
Excellent. Well, and with that, whoever wants to can head to the Merchant's Crossroads at the end of the day today. I know Drystrand perhaps needs to be with her faith right now. Very understandable. What do you think, Kira? Would you want to go? Would Kira be feeling
Listen, man.
Vandra?
I am all for going in a direction with zero plan. She is also smart enough to be like, maybe I shouldn't be by myself right now.
Yeah.
She came with Yvain. She's leaving with Yvain. She's like, listen.
Yep. You follow the lavender-skinned elf with the big brain for safety. That's very
as
fair.
fun as all the fairies are. I'm pretty sure half of them aren't there.
Yep. And I see Yvain. Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to find Drystrand.
Okay. You walk into this. It's an altar. It's an altar within the God's Brawl, where it's a fine altar. It is a very nice holy place, and I imagine Drystrand is like one knee kneeled before Stormlord's altar at the very front. There are certainly priests around, but Drystrand's right there, and by all means.
Well, I will take a moment to say a prayer of thanks and gratitude to the Stormlord. And if I can get Drystrand's attention to let her know where we're going and etc., I will, but I do not want to disturb her observances if I cannot get her attention.
If she could, just for a quick second, Drystrand will switch to saying a prayer in Elvish, specifically to pray to the Stormlord about protection for not just her, but for Yvain and Kira, who are in a weaker state, and then back to Draconic.
Excellent. So, in the babbling ramblings of Drystrand's religious fervor, in this moment, Yvain, as you're trying to connect, maybe you catch this that through all of the incessant prayer, there are prayers for others than herself, including you, and including Kira.
I will put a hand gently on her and have Kiro kind of with the other. And I will ask a brief blessing of protection of the Moonweaver, and I will cast Dreamwalk. For the next 24 hours, you will be able to lucid dream. You will know when you are having a nightmare, and you will have some control over what happens.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Yvain, you are not quite as out of commission as your companions, and you have been strongly guiding them, forging on. You take time for yourself. And as you leave Yvain and you leave Drystrand with this little protection against her dreams, you've given yourself something. You know how to help Kiro. Take some inspiration. You've been an important help to yourself and to your friends. Before we end off the session, Kiro, Tomada, Yvain, and Beverly will end up at the Merchant's Crossroads, where I'll say, let's see here. Is there anyone of particular interest? But in a second. Okay. You see a priest of the Changebringer step forth in the middle of the merchant's crossroads. Excuse me. And this person looks like kind of piratey. Definitely like an air genasi, like the hair sort of like kind of standing up in the wind as they wheel around them, and they got a cutlass and like jeggings and all the 9 yards. And this person is a little androgynous. Steps forward, goes, "All right, you've all been looking around Amon. Hopefully that's worked out well for some of you. And let's see if our faith has been rewarded. Let's see if Evander needs a champion this year. So, thank you everyone for coming out to the Call of Fortune, to the Coin's Edge, but today is the Twist of Fate. So, in Evandra's true way, she will have placed that coin somewhere no one expected, and hopefully in Evandra's way, she will have picked someone nobody truly expected. So, let's let the suspension end. And if anyone has a silver coin with the twist of Evandra on it, please step forth now. Let a champion be named.
Ember is going to take a long beat. Wait for anybody else. And just as they're about to open their mouth to say something, he's going to rise on that Freet-born column of flame, rise chest out, and just hold up the coin.
Yeah, okay. There's a long beat. There's maybe like 5-10 seconds. He goes, no one? No coin? Well, if that's the will of Evandra, that's the... Ember is there, holding the coin high up above. It's like, wow! And there's applause and celebration. Fiona's like, at the top of her lungs. Everyone's celebrating. As Ember, you float aloft as like these merchants, these storytellers, these swashbucklers and gamblers. They all kind of just, some of them are like, but mostly people are just celebrating and losing their shit. And as you sort of hopefully come back there eventually. I'll gather around you and just sort of like celebrate and applause and like pat you on the back and send you forward towards these priests. One of them being, yes, indeed, this swashbuckling figure. And he kind of like it's a little more informal here in the band. It's not as crazy. He kind of just like puts their arm around you, kind of like, champ. He goes, my friend, what is your name? Tell us what your name is.
My name is Ember Van Zyl.
So you have it, this year's champion of Evandra for 1 year and 1 year only until the turning of the wind. Champion Ember Van Zyl of Evandra! And everyone sort of... and people just lose it and celebrates. And you have been named champion of Evandra. You may certainly take inspiration But be assured there is more to follow regarding this selection by the Changebringer. And that is where we will end our session today.